Welcome to Free Agents, our Cypher system RPG set within the Beacon Space universe. While the faction turn deals with the giant political organizations and factions moving out in the universe, our game looks into the Penumbra, the underworld, the shadows of society where light and darkness meet. The place where clients with exacting needs can claim their plausible deniability and get the things done that nobody else can. Individuals within the Penumbra are our titular free agents, and a team of such will perform a mission today. Hello, free agents. Welcome to the session.
Hello.
Hello.
Glad to be here.
Why don't we go down the list and you can give us a little the sentence that describes your character, just their name and their type. We can leave descriptions to in game. Let's start with Kate. What do you got to tell us about yourself, Kate?
Hi, I'm Anya. I'll be playing Kate Cullen, who is a mad lens who howls at the moon. So this should be fun.
Mad Lens indeed. Seymour Valentine. Can you tell us about Seymour?
I'm just your simple country lucky explorer who fights with panache.
Next up is Kit. What have you got to tell us, Kit?
Yeah, I'm Foxy playing Kit, a mechanical technician who moves like a cat.
Meow. Right.
Not quite.
Next up we have Remo.
Yep. It's like Remo.
Remo
He's a rugged explorer who moves like the wind.
moves like the wind. And last but not least, Mer. Why don't you tell us about yourself?
So Mur is a graceful soldier who explores dark places.
Very cool. Okay, so as we enter into the world of Beacon Space, you're all capable free agents. And what have you been doing since your last job? Are you still on your last job? Have you just completed one, or have you been kicking around for a while waiting to get picked up? Where do you fall into the Penumbra? Are you a grizzled veteran? Are you new to the whole thing?
I can.
Go.
Just super fast. Seymour Valentine definitely portrays himself as though he's a seasoned veteran, but he probably has no more than a dozen jobs under his belt. He has difficulty maintaining long-lasting friendships and teams for some strange reason, though. So he's probably sort of bumming around right now looking for the next job that he can get from a handler.
Where do you spend your time when you're not on the job?
There might be a few employees of the Cactus Oasis Bar and Casino who recognize my mug every once in a while, but it's basically anywhere and everywhere. You might find me sleeping in a ditch somewhere. Times are hard for dreamers.
What can you tell us about the Cacti Oasis Bar and Casino? Where do you hang out there?
Well, it has a great supply of cheap alcohol, but I'm not entirely sure what it's made out of. They claim it's cactus-based rum, but I've got a sneaking suspicion it's people. I don't know.
Very cool. And that's in 0909, the center system, the hub of free agent activity. Everyone else, are you center dwellers, or do you operate more on the fringes at more rural free agent hubs?
Well, Remo definitely tries to go in the more rural areas. Particularly likes being around less people. Experience-wise, he's probably of the lesser experience when it comes to being a free agent, but he's been an agent within his vein for quite some time. So it's to him is a different environment, different types of fans. That's how he treats it. He'll probably be on downtime from his last work, and will be wherever he has established his nest, quote unquote. He'll be there maintaining what he always does in his free time. miniature biome where he has like an entire little ecosystem, and he's attempting to make sure the prison beetles in there are becoming a nice violet with 3 horns, which is apparently rare for them to mutate into.
If we have a look at the map at the bottom of the Roll20 screen, which is the core of the Beacon Space sector, each of those kind of named systems will have an area that's known as like the Free Agent Mission Hub. They're places with easy access to contacts, to transport, to necessary resources to do the jobs that a free agent can do. So you're probably hanging out at one of the ones towards the edge of the core, picking up more esoteric jobs than the urban missions in the center.
Yeah. Because the way his past, he's probably still he's in the Thulis system because it's close to home, close to a bunch of wilderness that he knows is still there on Helicitis.
Very
probably
cool.
where he's close. But he probably frequently goes to the center for when he's actually trying to find jobs, because he knows it's probably the best place to go.
Yeah. And Kit, as a mechanical technician, do you just have a job that you do on your downtime? Do you have like a day job that you go to?
No, I'm not unionized anymore. Like I'm not part of any association at the moment, and just trying to find any crew or any jobs that can take me. Kind of like the others, kind of struggling to eke by. But thinks he might find a couple of people that look like they might know what they're doing. Might need some help.
Have you done a job for your agent handler yet?
No, not yet.
No, so you're very new. Maybe you've. How did you like find out about this underworld that operates? Do you like process some dodgy equipment? You buy radios off the back of a truck? How did Kit find their way into the cracks?
Yeah, I was working for a guy who was more involved, and I only found out like in the aftermath of them getting caught. Kind of unable to find quote unquote legitimate jobs. Just been struggling to find people that appreciate my skill set.
Very cool. And Mia, where do you find yourself these days?
She's probably pretty desperately looking for work. Has probably only done 1 or 2 jobs, but is just like picking up odd things, trying to get some more money, and probably working herself more core side, and more out of the Gila system.
Out the healer system. So you're very familiar with the Concord.
Yes. So Mira is actually a deserter of the Bunker Busters, and she just needs to get away from home right now.
Yo.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I think some missions may appeal to you more than others in that case. And last but not least, Kate, where does a Mad Lens spend their time when they haven't been given an objective? Fluff?
Hi, my mic was muted. So Kate was kind of voluntold by the people on Moss and the Moss and Republic to kind of just go somewhere else. So she signed up for all this craziness, and this is her first mission. So when she's not here, she hasn't really settled in anywhere else yet.
So probably from Gograpatic, probably towards center, probably around Telas, Keisho, Ledro, somewhere around the very core world. So get out as fast as you can. Cool. Well, one way or another, you've all made contact with the Penumbra. I haven't missed anyone, have I? I don't think so. You've all made contact with the Penumbra. You're out looking for jobs. And you can see at the bottom the ticking job screen. The Penumbra network that links agents to those who have jobs and the agent handlers who then talk to corporate clients and political movements and everyone else who wants a job done but can't say that they want it done. The Penumbra network is piggybacked across all the different communications that happen in the sector, and as a result ends up being rather low size on the data side. You end up with these kind of mostly text-based interfaces. In Seymour's case, in the Cacti Oasis Bar and Casino, you can access the Penumbra via hacked jukeboxes, which are being maintained by a series of technomancers that work for agent handler Wolf in Center System. For Mia, you'd be aware of the agent handler Greek Fire, who is the local to Healer. And then Kit, you'd probably be aware of Chandler, who operates out of Tootham, which is a few hexes over.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the three handlers that are currently popping up on the jobs board. It seems other people have got it in hand. And two jobs in particular stick out to you. One is being offered by Greek Fire, the other is offered by Chandler. And if you take a look at the jobs board on the Discord, you can see those. One is sent by Chandler with the subject routine item acquisition, and the other has been sent by Greek Fire with the subject investigative athlete calls, one of which is calling for an expedition into the recently explored Nusantara system, while the other is it's in Healer on Karkaduk, which may appeal to some agents more than others.
I mean, just looking at this from a money-motivated perspective, the Greek Fire job is offering a potential total of 8,000 Howl, whereas the Chandler mission is only offering 5,000 Howl.
It's true. Greek Fire, though, also involves talking. So.
Reamer's
Depends.
like, be happy. I mean,
Yep.
He understands animals better than people. Or non-sapient beings better than people.
If you take a look at the jobs board, you would know that Chandler's offering a hunt type mission, which is typically a find and retrieve or a find and destroy kind of deal. And Greek Fire is offering a legal mission, which tends to be more one where you're putting on the face of not being free agents. You're typically having to operate within the bounds of the law. It tends to be a more legit means of getting a payday.
And
Reamer-
suddenly I'm turned over to Chandler.
Yeah.
Reamer is it's like highest rate of success is not having to act.
Cool. So
Reamer-
it sounds like you've all hit accept on the you've all RSVP'd to Chandler's mission. It sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. So Chandler gets all the RSVPs. And he gets a list of 20 to 30 agents who all want in on this mission. But individually, you'll get contacted. And you get told to be at a time and place. You get told to head to Hex 0609 in the Tootham sector. 0609. You get told to head to the Canala 6 refueling station, which is the free agent hub there. And either by buying passage or your contacts, you'll manage to make your way there. And you're told to meet at the Slammin' Shortbread, which is a high-class pastry establishment, which is franchised throughout the beacon space. You would have seen these franchises at various urban locations. They're like upper crust Starbucks, basically. And you'll get contacted and get told to head to Tootham. So how are you getting there? Is my question for the agents.
Reamer would just use his vein contacts to get a shuttle over there. He's still a part of his vein, so just moving over there.
What do your ships look like?
Children of Vane ships?
Yeah. Well, your vein specifically.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them will be. I think for the Vane Assault Service, it's kind of like a standard. Whatever is the standard transport ship, they kind of would have replicated that, and internally it will be a little bit different. They kind of like being non-discrete, even though they don't actually do spying. They just do a bunch of logistical stuff. They'll just have basically a basic, common, probably one you buy in center shuttle ship that's just
Cool.
retrofitted for their own people internally.
No weird Gene Wright stuff going on with your ships.
Not openly.
Okay.
The internal
Cool.
is retrofitted to probably some gene repair station and whatnot, but it'll be like custom settings, and the med bay will be a little bit higher, and which won't be too ostentatious, but the rest of the engines and whatnot, exterior wise, will just look normal.
Short pop over from Thusis. Are you using FTL gates, or are you taking the slow way round with shipborne FTL?
If FTL's, I think they'll use FTL just to pop over.
There's two methods of FTL in beacon space. There's a network of connected gates, which take various forms depending on where you look at them, but they're
actually,
all...
how traveled is Tootham? That would decide it.
I think it's pretty well traveled, from what I understand.
Okay, then he'll probably use a gate then.
Yeah.
But it's just dangerous. That's the...
Okay. He'll use it. They'll just opt to use the gate because it'll be the most obvious method of going through to there.
Cool. So, these giant gates have big ferry ships where shuttles and various smaller transports will attach to them, and then the ferry ship will go through. The reason for that is the pure quantity of people that would want to use the FTL gates and the very limited capacity of them. FTL travel is cheap and easy, but it takes forever to get through the queue, through security, and while you're waiting to go through the FTL gate, there's flashy advertisement ships going up and down offering you duty-free before you leave the system, escape the governmental taxes of your local hex. And it takes you forever, but you can make your way through the FTL gate. And you will note, as usual, as you travel through the green-purple crackling portal of energy, that it smells vaguely of tuna. FTL travel through the gates. It always has this kind of weird fishy smell.
He likes tuna and fish, so he's not disturbed by it.
For Seymour and Kate heading out of centre, I imagine it's pretty trivial for you to get passage on public transport unless you have any particular reason why you wouldn't want to take public transport.
No, I think public transport works just fine for Kate.
Do you have any troubles with your affliction going through such turbulent space as the FTL gates?
It certainly makes her nervous, and there is a possibility.
Hmm.
But I don't think it's happened yet.
Mia, you explore dark places. You're a graceful warrior. Do you hop on the public buses like everyone else?
If I've got a cousin who's a space trucker, and basically he's helping me, and I'm just hitching rides.
Not very graceful, and it's a bit of a bumpy ride.
Yes.
How dare you? Space truckers have to travel large amounts of distance. They've got a rigorous job, Cal.
Well, Mr. Crumbles works in Hilo. Maybe it's
Ooh.
So one way or another, you all make your way to 0609, the Canala 6 refueling station. As the credits roll in, it pops up, free agents, Nusantara, Knick-Knack is the episode name. And we get a low camera shot coming in from up high and sweeping down low through the doors of the slamming shortbread with its neon sign flickering slightly. And you're all sat around this cafe table. It's faux wood. It's definitely a plastic, but it has a wood grain printed on it. You're all on cushion ornate chairs. And as you sat around the table,
Lost was a bot, by the way.
sir?
Our bot just left.
Oh, both of them.
Both of them, actually.
Penumbra's still in. He's listening.
Oh, okay.
I will check with the producer, see what he's saying.
I'm trying to figure out how to sing "On the Road Again" in a cowboy accent, and I'm not quite good at that. So,
all right, we're good to keep going.
I don't think you could sing it.
Keep tricky. So as we open, there's a tall man stood by your table with his notebook open. Well, not a notebook; it'd be a little electronic pad. He's about 6'3", very, very handsome. This is almost beautiful. You'd have to describe him as. He's got hair pulled back into a tight top knot, but his skin, his features, he has a neatly trimmed goatee. He's got a name badge that says Chandler, and then underneath in kind of handwriting font, "How can I help you today?" And he's looking at you expectantly. He's just asked you what flavor shortbread you'd like to order.
I think I'm in the wrong place.
No, I assure you're in your right place. You're the agents, yes?
Oh, I'm trying this cactus thing. Do you have cactus flavored shortbread?
He kind of reaches up and scratches the back of his neck, looking around at the five individuals sat around this table. He goes, "Cactus, not sure, truth be told. I have a special on strawberry."
Yeah, Seymour shrugs. Works for me.
Anyone else speak up with a flavor they particularly want, or does he just go back and get a round of strawberry for everybody?
Go ahead.
Do you have
I
banana?
don't think Reamer has any preference when it comes to bread. Actually, he will probably request a water with that.
Do you have any that's dipped in chocolate?
Yes, certainly, madame. Of course, for one so distinguished as yourself. And he goes back and he comes back with a tray with lots of small plates on it. It hands out strawberry, one covered in chocolate. And he puts a glass of water down in front of the agents. And then he pulls out a chair and sits across from you and goes, "Right, well, you all know why you're here. I am Handler Chandler. This is my franchise. Shh, don't tell anybody that I'm two-timing on the job. Right. As I said in my advertisement, the Jittendra. Are you all familiar with the Jittendra?" And looks around the group. Has anyone heard of the Jittendra before?
Nope.
Yeah, I
No.
don't think I'd have any reason either.
I don't think so.
I don't think Reamer would know.
What context of figuring out if your character would know? It's
Oh,
it's kind of history. It's like being asked if you know about the ancient Egyptians.
yeah. His knowledge is not in this area.
Yep. And I think Concord Education more closely focuses on the particular planet.
Yeah,
Um,
isolationists
mhm.
until around 60 years ago, something like that, right? So
Bain
education
doesn't focus much
about
on
this.
Bain doesn't
Yeah.
focus much on other history, unless you were raised somewhere else. But he was raised on Helicitis. They would have only focused on their own history and general history, of the entire sector. So no, he wouldn't know. And he doesn't have the desire to know.
Do the Jittendra have any famous starships?
Oh, definitely. None that you know by name, but you would know of some records. If you know of starships, you would know that they have highly advanced starships that we can't replicate anymore. In mechanical terms, they would be TL5 in the faction turn. They have technology that we can't replicate with the current technology in beacon space. You'd see ship designs from before the glitch, before the beacon was even, like early colony ships.
Yeah, Kit might know like of them, but not much about them specifically. Then.
Chandler will look around the blank faces, he steeples his fingers and goes, "Well, the only thing that I know about the Jittendra is that they pay well, and that they have things that they need. They are ancient warrior people, long before any of these galactic children were on the scene. They've requested of me that a particular item be found. I don't know if you check the news, but Nusantara recently explored, or rediscovered, as they would say, Sector 0309, not too far from here. Just a short jaunt, really. There was a battle there, I'm led to believe. One of their fleets befell some dreadful fate, although who knows who could have destroyed such wondrous machines. And they have information that they need to be recovered that they have lost. And I take it that you're all up to the task.
Money on the
Could be.
table.
Go to a place and find a thing. Got it.
Reamer Matt asked, it's like, what exactly is the quarry?
It's a small cylindrical case. It is, well, I say small, around a foot across, about 3 feet tall. I'm led to believe it is near the generator compartment of a downed capital ship. It is Nusantara. The Tahora Phi have renamed a planet in that sector, Pulahan. It's around Pulahan's third moon. Although, beware the locals, they're a dreadfully criminal lot. I'll chuckle to himself a little bit. It is quite a simple job, really. Just go out, recover, bring it back. Shouldn't be much trouble. And don't look inside. That data is for them and them alone. I must reinforce the discretion required. Most people don't even know that Jittendra still exists, and I think they'd quite like for it to remain that way. I don't have a means of transport to offer you, but there are services on the station. You're all capable within the Penumbra. I'm sure you can work it out if you don't have a vehicle yourselves. And kind of trail off. Any questions, or can I get back to cooking my latest batch?
Reamer's like, what's the ecosystem like? Do we have that data?
Ecosystem of the planet or the moon?
Both.
The moon is a moon, really. Atmosphere thin but existent. The Pulahan itself, it's an awful place, burning, and the atmosphere is acidic. It's warped and twisted. The people that lived there, although there are many of them, it's quite the inhabited world. In fact, they are advanced as much as you or I. But yes, don't expect things that you know. But Pulahan is an accessible planet. It has residents. It is, as I believe, some religious hub for the locals. They travel to it. But yes, not much more to say on that one, and I've not been there myself.
I think Mura looks around the table and says, "Does anyone have a ship, or like no contacts for a ship? How are we getting to this place?"
Yeah. I might be able to do a little pull. There is a trucker guild ship that I might be associated with. But far be it from me to look a gift horse in the mouth, Chandler. Why don't the Jittendra go get it themselves?
If you were a few centuries years old, would you want to go out for your own groceries?
Fair enough. Yeah, let me go make a call. I'll be right back. Yeah, and Seymour pushes his chair back, gets up, and he's going to try and call... I don't think he'd call Biscuity Crumbles, right? Like, I think he would actually call Josiah Bettencall maybe directly, like, to just check if there's any trucker vehicles in the vicinity.
The captain. Do you have the captain's personal number, or did you get like a line for the? Let me remind myself of their name because it was somewhat convoluted. The union itself, the truckers' union. What were they called? The Amicable Accord Transit and Trade Truckers Union, which operate mainly out of Hellas.
Yeah. I think I would probably call the captain directly to try and see if I could get a little extra pull from the job that I just did for him.
So this, given you're contacting across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This isn't a secure transit.
No.
To be able to contact instantaneously across that much distance and be of a reasonable speed, it's not at all secure. You're pointing a giant emitter in a direction and blasting and hoping that the big dish on the other side catches it. It's sniffed by half a dozen points along the way. It's open communication, and you'll get a walks back, and it comes back in text. Actually, it's not voice. It says signal too bad. ... Entering FTL soon. ... Contact local truckers. ... Mention my name. ...
Okay. Yeah, I do the bureaucratic do-si-do. I contact the local accord.
Give me an intellect roll, difficulty 3.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
First roll of the night.
First roll.
Have any edges for that?
Yeah, I do have a point of edge, and I'm going to go ahead and use my luck pool, just because getting there is kind of important, hey? So...
Yeah. Might be the most important thing.
Well, looks like we're here. What's the difficulty again? Sorry.
Difficulty 3.
Okay. Yeah. I am going to go ahead and put an effort into the roll. No!
Oh, no!
Yeah, I think that you're just not able to track down whoever the truckers for this area are. Like, there's a shifting group of different unions that, like, claim territory over various hexes, and maybe you've caught yourself right in the conflict between two truckers unions, or a strike, or like you just can't get in touch with anyone from the unions.
Yeah, I think I come back, and because I'm trying to put on a little bit of an air, right? Like, I don't want to be like, actually, no, my contact didn't pull through. I'd be like, well, they didn't say no, but they didn't say yes. Anybody else got any bright ideas?
I'm not sure it's a good idea, but I think I might have seen a ship or two docked. I could see if the keys are still in there. We'll return it.
What?
Reamer's like, if we could get this done quickly, sure. And he at this point he says, "You half-eaten the bread." So he says that with crumbs on his face, to be honest.
Okay, well, before we steal anything, maybe I can do like a quick search and see if anyone's headed that way. And we could exchange favors or like come up with some way to talk to them. So would that be possible? I'm trained in searching from my focus, but I'm not necessarily sure if that's like web searching.
I mean, I don't think you need a skill to be able to ask around, hey, anyone going west? Like,
But
yeah,
yet, using a skill reduces the difficulty by 1.
that's very true.
Okay.
Again, I think it's only difficulty 3. This is a transit hub. It's a frontier stop before you head into uncharted waters, or well, less uncharted than they were. But a year ago, this was the last point west anybody had explored, so it's pretty easy to find people who are going out to the gold rush.
Okay. So, and then I've also got a communication device that makes searches like this. It grants an asset.
Sure, difficulty 2 in that case.
Okay.
Oh,
Do you want me? Sorry. Do you want me just to roll int, or are you okay with searching?
Searching is fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, quick thing. How much is an inexpensive item? 'Cause I never got one, so I was going to limit it.
It's 250.
Eliminate.
Yeah.
Woo!
Success.
Okay,
So
so
Rolling
maybe we
11.
don't have to steal a ship yet.
yeah, you get in touch with an ascent vessel called the Whitetail. You would know, everyone in the sector would know Ascent to be this group of knowledge-hungry messengers. They do a lot of postal work, delivery work, and they also have these archival universities that hoard history and hoard knowledge. And you find a ship called the Whitetail, which is primarily a survey/scanning ship with no real combat ability. It's a survey ship, but they are going the way that you want. They're an exploratory vessel, and they'd be willing to take you in exchange for your protection, basically.
I think that's a good deal. I kind of bring it back to the group and say, hey, like, as long as we stop people from killing these people, they're willing to take us over there.
It was like another stipulation, but fine.
Seems
anyone who's
mighty
trying
reasonable.
to kill them would also probably be trying to kill us. So it's just something we would be doing anyway, right?
Precisely that.
Reaver does not reply to that.
So over your communication, because you're doing this on like the refueling station intranet, you get given the berthing number for the ship. And as you go over, you can see these group. They're all in yellow jumpsuits, and they're all Icarosians, which are an alien species that bear a striking resemblance to gazelles. They have long faces. They have curly horns of various designs. They have gangly but very quick limbs. And they are all moving incredibly fast. Even when they're stood still, they are jittering, bouncing their limbs. They're not comfortable staying still. And there's a group of 3 of them who are rushing about, refueling, putting various cargo onto their ship, the Whitetail. And one who is stood on the cargo deck looking very ready for the off. He's got a peaked hat, which is his horns curl either side of you. You can presume to be the person you've been in contact with, whose name is. So look, I should have had this ready. Names.
Hardest part.
Hardest
Generator,
part.
go.
Just after scheduling. His name is Ropati. You found him.
Scheduling's still the hardest thing.
Yes.
So yeah, I'd approach and say, hi, I'm Mir. We talked about, hitching a ride with you in exchange for protection. Are you ready to go? Is there anything you need?
Yes. Yep. Sooner we can get going, the better. Yep. Yes. Yeah, the crew are rushing about, and they seem to be just about ready to leave. There's tubes hissing gas, and yeah, the fuel meter is dinging up.
Okay. I think she'd look over her shoulder and look at you guys and say, "You guys are ready? Anyone need to make a pit stop?"
Yeah, I think if Mur was sort of like leading us towards the ship, I would have maybe pulled back towards where Kit was, and if they seem amicable to, oh boy, I can talk good, amicable to it. I scratch up conversation. I'm like, you mean what you said there about taking a whole ship?
I've worked on a lot of Ikurosi vessels. There are a couple of things you can do to override some safety systems, and I don't know. Let's not talk about it.
Sorry, didn't mean to pry. I do the both hands up, palms out, and I just get back up and I'm like, nah, I'm good to go, Mir.
Yep. He boards the ship with everyone else.
Before we get onto the ship, does anyone have money or XP that they would like to spend before they leave civilization and head out into the mission?
Well-
It's broke.
Did we start with any XP, or if this is the first game, are we starting with 0?
Right. I completely forgot. Thank you for reminding me. For accepting a free agent mission, you can all take an XP.
Woohoo!
Yes.
1 XP.
And if anyone does not currently have a Cypher, you acquire one, which represents the downtime. You have managed to pick up a Cypher in some way in the interim between missions, if you do not currently have one.
I have no
I think
Cypher.
that applies to 4 of you.
Yes.
Which I keep meaning to make this a table within the Roll20, but I have yet to do so. So we will go through and do this manually again. Apologies to the viewers. Seymour, I believe you already have a Cypher from your previous adventures.
Do I get to keep that same one? Because I
You
did.
do, yes. Oh, you used
Yes!
the weapon enhancement?
I did remember towards the end of the fight.
You did use the weapon enhancement and burned a lot of people alive. You did.
Listen.
But that does mean that everyone gets a Cypher.
Sorry.
Kate, why don't we start with you? Can you roll a 1d3 for me, please?
1d3.
1d3, yes, please.
Got a 1.
Got a 1, that is a manifest cipher. Give me a 1d100 as well, please. This is page 382 in the book, for anyone who's looking. 14, so you have the manifest cipher Catholicon, which I have no idea what that is. Let's find out.
It's an indie rock band.
So you can add this cipher, Catholicon. It's a level 1d6 plus 2 cipher, and its effect is it cures any disease of the cipher level or lower. So how have you picked up this object that can cure many diseases?
Probably from one of the Vane outposts on Moss before she was unceremoniously told to go away.
You visited a gene bank?
Yep, probably to try to figure out what is wrong with her.
Proud sponsors of free agents Beacon Space. Seymour, roll a 1d3 for me, please.
You got it, boss.
The amount of fingers that bank has, it's intimidating.
97. That is a water adapter. You probably needed it after spending all your time in the Cacti Oasis Bar and Casino. Water adapter, it's a 1d6 level cipher. And you can breathe underwater and operate at any depth for 4 hours per cipher level. Probably be very useful on some of the water worlds that we have.
Sweet.
Next up, let's go to Kit. Next on the list, 1d3 and then a 1d100 for me, please. A 2 and then a 6. Okay, that is a fantastic cipher. Comprehension.
Okay.
That's the name of the cipher. Level 1d6 plus 1. And the effect is, within 5 minutes, the user can understand the words of a specific language keyed to the cipher. This is true even of creatures that do not normally have a language. If the user could already understand the language, the cipher has no effect. Once the cipher is used, the effect is permanent.
Ow.
Mm-hmm.
So you have acquired an item or some quirk of fate that allows you to permanently understand a new language.
Probably some
Let-
cybernetic thing.
Whenever you use that, I'll allow you to tell me what it is.
Okay.
Next, we have the wonderful Remar. Give me a 1d3 and then a 1d100, please. Another fantastic cipher, 47, which is a mind-restricting wall.
Interesting.
We'll find out what the effect of that is.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that I'm bitter that I have a potion of water breathing while someone has a mind restricting wall.
It is 1d6 plus 2. And the effect is it creates an immobile plane of permeable energy up to 6 meters by 6 meters for 1 hour. It conforms to the space available, so it fills it but does not surpass it. Any intelligent creature passing through the plane fall unconscious for up to 1 hour or until slapped awake.
Cool.
You can create a force field that knocks things out that
Yeah.
goes through it.
I think how you would have found it, his last mission was some type of exploratory thing, and he just looted it from whatever derelict place he was at, and
This
put
is
it in his pocket.
This is a tech item that you've looted.
Yeah, somewhere in the his last mission, maybe he was miscellaneously going somewhere, some derelict, whatever ship or
Cool.
whatnot, and just looted it from it.
And finally, if you could give me a 1d3 and a 1d100.
Okay.
Another fantastic cipher. A 67. 67 is a reality spike, which sounds dangerous.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Reality spike. 1d6 plus 4. Oh god, okay. The effect is, once activated, the cipher does not move, ever. A might action might dislodge it, but then it is ruined. You have an immovable rod.
I do.
I'm going to assume that the might action to dislodge it is equal to whatever level you roll when you use it. That's my guess. It doesn't
Probably.
say specifically. But that's potentially a level 10 difficulty immovable rod. That's very cool. Okay. Yeah, good job on being able to breathe underwater, though, Valentine.
Thanks. Feeling quite accomplished over here.
Make sure
You got a credit coup.
by the end
It'll
of the
be
session,
useful.
by the end of the session, just use it so you get another one later.
That's-
True. Find an excuse so that you can pick it up at the start for the next one.
oh
You can do
man,
it underwater.
I need to take a
Oh,
bath.
we could sell it too.
I got high tech Dayquil.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
as mentioned, mine is just chloroform. A wall of chloroform.
I mean, I'll trade you. I will trade you any day of the week, but um,
I'm wondering. I don't know. Cypher's not too keen on using these, but if he found one thing that knocks people out, he's like, I don't like people who would love to have this as a permanent thing during any social engagement.
Seymour, would you like to spend your experience?
yeah, I'm gonna do a boring one, especially because my armor is just an armored bodysuit, so I'm not taking any penalties right now. But I am gonna go ahead and spend 4 experience for the advancement under Explorer practice with armor.
It's hmm. Is that a skill that that's a special ability that you can pick up from a type. I'm not sure that's a skill.
Hey, maybe I wanted to sound like I had done all of my reading ahead of time, but actually hadn't.
Hmm.
Let me double check real fast.
That's okay.
I have played previously where that kind of substitution is totally okay and it just takes 4 advancements to level up. But whatever you want to do will be fun and will make sense.
The way that I read that advancement particularly is it was a skill as in one of the ones that's like a verb, like from physical skills, knowledge skills. That kind of
Oh,
thing.
I see.
Yeah, not a special ability as from the type. Because they're listed separately.
Okay.
Which, to be fair, practiced in armor is what you're going for. And that one just reduces. Let's have a look.
Under
Practiced
other
armor, yeah,
options, you can reduce the cost for wearing armor. That's what you want to do.
Yeah,
reduces the
basically.
speed cost by 1. Your speed cost is already.
I mean, someday Seymour, I'm not saying is going to want to end up being in some form of like giant hulking metal armor, but
Oh, okay.
I have been practicing an accent very poorly, so I'm kind of attached to it.
Select another character ability from your type. Okay, so it's got to be from your own type. Never mind.
You can take practice in armor, but you won't benefit from the getting a set of armor for free.
Yeah.
I'll let you have it, but
yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I think for the purposes of right now, what I'm actually going to do, because I am lucky, is I'm actually going to hold on to that 4 experience, because with the history of rolling I've got right now, I might want a couple rerolls today. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Sorry to rain on your parade a little bit.
I'll manage. I'm quite sad about this, but no, it's fine.
So I had to correct my sheet. For some reason, I had an edge in intelligence. I'm like, I shouldn't have that. Yeah.
It's just translating over from an intelligent player and just picked up on it, and
Yeah. I mean, I plan to pick it up whenever I get to improve my edge later, but yeah.
Right. Oh, is the screen black for you?
No, I'm here though.
Can you see the ship?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So the captain very knows. Yes, come on, this way, come on, and they all speak like the world is too slow for them. They all are jittery. They're all nervous. They lead you upstairs to this kind of crew / passenger / cargo area. It's a small ship. Space is at a premium, and then they plop you up in this section of the whitetail. Just to make you show you're out the way as well, really. As you go through the corridors, they're all bustling past you. Has anyone got any kind of medical training?
Reamer knows medicine, I believe. Make sure. He knows biology.
No biology?
So, he only knows
would
biology. He doesn't have medicine, technically.
You familiar with the Icarosians, you said?
I think he knows of them. I don't think he's interacted with them often, though.
Why don't you give me a difficulty... Let me check. A difficulty 4 intellect roll. This is for observing something about the crew.
I mean, I'll attempt, but this is going to go bad. Difficulty 4. No effort. Yeah. Not that far.
Don't notice anything other than they're all hyperactive and fast, which, so far as any of you know, all the Icarosians are kind of like this anyway. Perhaps they're just a little bit more excitable than their brethren. These.
Do you think I can observe their movements better because I'm pretty good at speed?
Yeah, I mean, there's not so much to observe in it. They're all moving
Okay. Got it.
as fast as they can at all times and seem very impatient. Yeah, so you set off, and it's a 4 hex journey, and there's no FTL gates out there. This journey takes a long time. It's best part of a day. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, best case scenario is you're moving 3.5 full X's to get to Pulahan, which at ship FTL speeds, it's 19, 20 hours, depending on how the FTL space is feeling that day. Depending if you have to maneuver to avoid any anomalies or anything like that. And there's nothing occurs on the way to 0309 and Nusantara. While you're on this long journey, is there anything that you'd like to do on the way?
When Kate and I traveled from 0909, were we on the same transport shuttle, or would we have been on different ones?
That's up to you. You very likely would have been attached to the same ferry ship, but if you're on the same ship precisely, I'll leave it up to you.
Do you have a preference one way or the other?
We were on the same ship.
Yeah.
You'd know that Kate is a very nervous traveler.
Okay. Are there any outside noticeable like factors for the fact that she's a lens?
You haven't seen her do anything in
Okay.
particular. But you do know she is from Moss, and that's kind of a common thing there.
Right. Yeah, I think I would sidle up to her when like the ship's about to jump. And like if she's like visibly nervous, I'd just be like, "Yeah, I get it." And I think there's like a like quick flash of like green light over one of my fingers, and I'm like, "It's never easy, is it?"
Oh, I don't think you do get it, but it's sorry, I get a little testy when we're traveling. I tend to bite people's face off.
You say that, yeah, and I give you a weird side eye, and I'm like, oh, okay. You need your space?
Yeah, please.
No worries. Yeah, and Seymour gets up, and he does like a like backwards glance over his shoulder, like, okay. And yeah, he probably goes to another part of the ship. And that's all I'm doing.
Reamer would be reading something on his like phone for a while.
At some point, Kit will try and sneak into like the engine room and just try and like see what kind of mods the ship has got running.
Are you trying to? You say sneak? Are you trying not to be seen?
Yeah, it's not like full on like crouching and like tiptoeing around, but try and do it covertly.
It's a small ship. Just try and do it without anybody seeing you. I mean, they're not really paying attention.
Okay.
Probably difficulty 3. It'd be a speed roll.
Okay. Yeah. Hang on. What's the difficulty 3?
Difficulty 3, yeah.
I'm gonna use my edge to get a free bonus.
Yep. And brings it down to difficulty 2.
So above 6.
And I don't really have any assets that are directly helping. So nat 20.
Okay. You know everything about this ship. As you as you explore, you find every nook and cranny, and as you're passing by the cafeteria on the way to the engine, you see one of them clearly take some kind of substance and then jitter and get even faster as they scoot out of the room and zoom around. You can tell as you look around from the dilated eyes and from the way they're moving. All of the 4 crew members are incredibly high. On a copious amount of stimulants, so far as you can tell. As you make your way to the engine room, you would say that if a ship's engines were to be graded on a scale 1 through 10, that this ship has roughly around a 3 in terms of its power output.
Having kind of observed these folks like with the stimulant, is it like a legal stimulant, or they might be smuggling any?
Well, what's legal depends on where you are, and right now, there's no
among
planetary government for hexes around.
Okay. Oh, but among Ikarusi.
Among Ascent, I mean, how familiar are you with Ikarosi law? It's a question.
I personally aren't, but Kit spent a lot of time around Ikaros, at least in orbit.
I think you'd be able to work out that this kind of drug on Icaros is probably by prescription only, and either they've all got incredible back pain or they are taking drugs that they probably shouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they don't have they don't seem to be carrying copious quantities, just enough personal use.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they are distributing. They are definitely getting high on their own supply. If so, you don't find any like quantity in a cargo hold or anything like that. The most you see is the drug paraphernalia within the cafeteria of the eatery of this ship, the Whitetail.
Kit takes a note of that.
Cool. Yeah, nothing else happens on your journey until you get off on one of the screens. You get the captain come through. He goes, "We'll be arriving at your destination soon. Would you please be ready to instruct us on where to go next?" And you feel the sickening, twisting pop. You translate back into real space, and you see Nusantara stretch before you. You've come into the edge of the available translation zone, and you coast your way into Pulahan. And as you approach the 3rd orbital body, as told by Chandler, you see a big battlefield wreck in orbit of the moon. You see what looks to be 3 or 4 huge capital ships with smaller ships buzzing around them. And across the surface of the moon, you can see these large impact craters, some natural, some millennia old, and some more recent with the impacts of ships embedded within them. You can see this battlefield.
I realize Cypher doesn't have a flashback mechanic, but before we got here, could I have bought an environment suit?
Sure. Yeah, nothing is changed. Nothing is that would affect the game state. You absolutely can have bought an environment suit.
Yeah, just thinking about the cold vacuum of space and how I like all of my blood inside my body. Stares pointedly at Huma.
Well, that's where it's supposed to go.
Which ship are we supposed to? Do you guys remember? I think this is Mira just asking. So it looks like there are quite a few ships. I know we're supposed to hit up a capital ship. Do you guys remember which one?
Environment suit is 1,000 towel in case you.
Yep.
Were. Okay. Cool.
Did Chandler give us the name during the brief?
I don't recall.
Didn't give
He
you the
did.
name of a ship, but he
No.
gave you a tracking code for this data cache that you're supposed to be tracking down.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what, just punch it into a wrist computer and follow with the GPS? Turn right at the derelict satellite.
That work sounds great.
Yeah, I would probably ask Captain Ropati. I'd be like, so, what business did you have round Pulchan? Is that the name of the planet?
That is the name of the planet. Yep.
What business did you have around Pulchan?
We are here doing secondary exploring work. We are following up on the work of the Tahora Phi. There is 2 unexplored planets in this system. We were going to see if we could get there first.
Fair enough. You have any shuttles or drop pods or something we might be able to borrow?
We can do most of our scanning from here. We can take you around the moon while we continue our scans.
Sweet.
Just
We've got
tell us where you'd like to go. You're keeping us protected from you know what they say about Tahora Phi.
No, what do they say? And I just give him a deadpan stare.
I think Mir leans in because, been a homebody, not really been out, and it's just like, so what do they say?
They hunt whales, and sometimes those whales are metal.
Yeah, Seymour crosses his arms and he sort of like gives the guy a half glare, but it's not abundantly clear why that is. And then he just goes and he gets his environment suit ready. Because we're pretty sure it's a derelict, so he was saying there's no environment on the salvage, right?
Yep. The moon has an atmosphere, and you can detect from the planet it has an atmosphere that can support life, although it's highly acidic and the temperatures are burning. So you'd be able to detect the radio signals of a world that is encased within domes. Yet also there's a few compounds on the moon that you'd be picking up signals from, but the battlefield itself, unless you're looking at wreckage on the moon, any wreckage that's in the orbit is entirely within the vacuum of space. Yeah.
I'm not going to be very useful, guys.
Yeah, I don't have anything to be out in the open. Maybe do you guys have any atmosphere suits to deal with the current environment?
I've got a breather, but that's only a few seconds, really.
Okay.
I could hold my breath for a while, but probably not long enough.
Cal.
Can-
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, can we ask them what kind of suits they have?
No, that's technically what Rieger's asking. Yeah.
The Whitetail has 3 environment suits that, while do not fit you perfectly, definitely don't. They are serviceable. They're made for people who are typically between 6.5 to 7.5 feet tall and have very thin limbs, but you can just about squeeze your way into one if you're of a normal humanoid stature.
Yeah. Rieger's like, I've been in worse.
Someone said you're popping in the data, the signal into the computer, something like that.
Yeah, Kate. I made a joke about just popping it into the wrist computer and bringing up the space equivalent of Google.
Google how to track down ancient data cache. It's not a question of if, because you have the tracking signal, you have the rough area, you're definitely getting pinged from it. It's a question of when. Who is taking the lead on directing the Whitetail in as close as it can get?
That sounds like an intelligence check.
If anyone
Or
has
is that too
navigation,
much metagaming? Yeah.
well, if anyone has navigation, Rieger will not assist because he.
Don't have navigation, but I got searching.
Assess danger if that helps at all.
Could
would-
I make a searching roll with an asset from assess danger?
I would definitely allow
binoculars.
searching to
Okay.
apply. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, binoculars, I'd let them apply as well.
So could I do a searching roll with 2 assets?
You definitely can. Let's say, I mean, it's just how long it takes you. So,
You
just
do
roll,
an
just roll
unknown.
against difficulty 0, and we'll see
Yeah, and we'll do.
see how long it takes you.
Does anyone have a scanner? Personally, or
18.
Ooh.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it only takes you
Dang.
about 90 minutes to kind of triangulate in on the signal, and you identify which of the larger ships the signal is coming from. You were told that it's coming from near the generator, but as you approach these ships, as you go past a few, you can see that these ships have been salvaged, and then salvaged again, and then salvaged again, to where they started with the larger pieces of equipment to the panels and the wiring to now just the raw metal is being stripped from these ancient TL5 giant capital ships that are covered in like holes, scorch marks. And you approach the ribs of one of these vessels where you're getting a clear pinging from what would be the Jittendra data cache.
The Reamer's like, time to get ready. He's like, time to get ready.
Anybody else worried the signal's not exactly where they said it'd be?
Rarely is.
I'm more worried people are laying an ambush.
There always are.
Yeah.
Could be fun.
Yeah, Seymour does a half shrug and he gets in his environment suit.
Yep. Reamer goes into the awkward environment suit. He's like, has to make sure everything's loaded and he's ready. He waits for the rest of his crew.
It's somewhat of a comedic sight. You have to pull up the limbs, and they're all bunched up and they're bulging at the joints. And if you make a wrong movement, it'll probably rip. But try not to think about that while you're in the vacuum of space.
Yeah, he's fine with it. Once again, he's been in worse, supposedly.
So do we have enough suits for everybody?
Don't believe
You
so.
have 3 from the
Okay.
ship, and whatever you as a party have.
I believe that's just Seymour's environmental suit.
So we're one person missing a suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And someone's going to have to stay on the ship.
I think it's best if Kate does not go into the vacuum of space.
In that case, Reynard sits up. Oh, sorry, Kit. She sits up.
Yep. Whoever's probably good with this, good with using technology, probably be best to be left on the ship.
Speaking of Kate, can you give me a 1d5, please?
Sure. 4.
You definitely feel like you could turn here. It feels like areas of the bleed as you're moving through this battlefield. I think you're feeling the effects of bleed used in combat many years previous, and you can feel that the barrier between worlds is thin in this place, and you feel occasional instinctual urges rise up as you pass through them.
Okay, it's probably good that I didn't put on the poorly fitting spacesuit.
Yeah, as you all get suited up, you hop into the Whitetail's airlock, and as the long ramp lowers down, you're faced with a giant metal wall that fills the vision of your visors. There's the side of this capital ship, which is emblazoned with letters that have long since been scrubbed off by interstellar dust and radiation and decay and being stripped. You can't make out what the ship was previously called, apart from an area where the name would have been.
Oh wow. So just to be clear on this, because I think I misunderstood. This derelict has been here for ages. It's just that Tahora Y recently like went through the derelict.
Not necessarily to horrify. You know that this system was explored, I think it's 7 months ago in real term. Like, it's been rediscovered more than explored. You know that there's a society on the planet that has existed there for some time. And this ship is easily 600 years old, if not older. And this battle is ancient. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Reamer says knows to himself. He's like, this is the oldest ship he's ever seen.
I think like even though like the environmental the suit is kind of like not fitting properly, Kit like just jumps from the airlock and like tries to land feet first with the ship boots onto the side of the Hulk.
Reamer would mention, is anyone familiar with an environment like this?
Over comms, Kit.
Over comms, yeah.
Yeah. Just if you don't think your feet are secure, just go slow.
Understood. Please keep an eye out for ambush.
We'll
I
be
think
fine.
Mira will walk onto the ship, and if you guys want to go first, she'll kind of be like the watching the back and making sure nothing sneaks up behind.
Yeah, I think you see Seymour reluctantly holster his revolver, and he snaps out like what appears to be a collapsible baton of sorts, and he like flicks a button on the side, and a bolt of electricity runs down it, and he's like, "After you," gesturing at Kid.
Reamer has his his singer gun holstered on the outside, and he makes sure that his eel knuckles they're variable in size, could go over the outside of the hands, so he can still use.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry.
Kit's searching forward with his big old flashlight.
I do have I do have binoculars and an Everlight. Those would help.
You make your way across the void of space via some combination of booster packs and small thrusters and jumping from piece to piece, and you can see the internals of this ship now. You could go through a panel or a doorway, but the mechanisms of them have long since been stripped by scavengers, and there's big holes in the side, so it's not too difficult to see inside. It would be dark if not for your torches, apart from the dappled light coming through, reflected off the planet and the moon. You can see in the engine compartment, you can see a shiny chrome cylinder. It's about 1 foot across, about 3 foot tall, and it is emitting a low pinging noise occasionally. And it's definitely being picked up on, if anyone has a wrist computer, it's pinging on there. And back in the ship, Kate can tell you that the pinging is synchronized. And Kate, while you're on the ship, you can also pick up that the crew seem to be nervous and that there is some comms chatter coming through.
Can I overhear what they're saying?
Sure. You hear quack, quack.
Helpful.
Yeah.
As in a language, or as in a like warning siren?
I mean, you're not hearing it, so
I'm not there. That's fair.
yeah. I don't know. You tell me. Do you think it's a language or a warning siren?
A mating call.
Find a crew member.
Sure, you can stumble into the captain.
Hey, but what's that noise? What's going on?
We are receiving many communications from the moon.
From the moon. good ones or bad ones?
I cannot say. It is consistent with the communication from the planet, though. It seems to be the bush hunter.
Okay. And just, I assume we have some sort of comm with our risk computers. Just, hey guys, get the thing and get back here as soon as possible so we can leave. This is making me nervous.
Mm.
And I do a quick search for traps on the object.
Like a visual inspection. How are you searching for traps?
Yeah, I guess it would be visual and then kind of moving forward and seeing like if there's anything connected to it, like any wires or anything that if we pick this up, it's going to explode.
Mm. Let's have a look. You have careful movement and listening and searching. Yeah, this is difficulty 3.
Okay. Int or speed?
It would be, well, are you taking your time or are you trying to do it quickly?
Well, given what we just heard, I'm probably trying to do it fast.
Then it is speed.
Okay. Do you mind if I use searching, or do you just want a speed rule, or searching with speed?
You can use searching. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. The skill. Okay, difficulty 3. Sorry, I went right past that. Has been really handy. Ooh. If there's traps, I don't see them. And I could
Yeah.
set something off. Perfect place for it to be an
Completely
intrusion.
Yeah, so far as you can tell, it's completely safe.
Okay. Reamer like, well, if it's safe, then I'll try to grab it fast.
Oh, wait.
What?
Yeah, I think
Like, Kit speaks up and says, this whole thing's been salvaged, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would they not take the thing that's beeping?
Reamer's like, we're the ones causing it to beep.
Well, does it look like just junk?
It looks like doesn't look like a generic cylinder, right?
yeah, a small.
Chrome cylinder, kind of like rounded ends. The At either end, the surface is somewhat flattened. It looks like there'd be a secondary smaller cylinder core. You've seen this type of data cache before. It's common in vehicles. It's like a memory unit that would plug into a vehicle. It'd be like a core that you could pull out and then slide back in.
Reamer's like, if you want to take another glance, make it quick. You don't have a lot of time.
Okay.
I think Kit's onto something. Like the doors don't open because the mechanisms have been taken out. Like, why is this still here?
And just as a reminder, because I know it's been going through a lot, it specifies in your award that you get 1,000 HAL for preserving the container, and 4,000 for securing the cache.
Okay. Well, with that stipulation, knowing that there's making sure they get the integrity of the container, Reamer's like, observe so we could, maintain our objective. That I'll be standing ready for retrieval.
Okay, let's go as fast as possible.
It's like,
Yeah, and like Kit allows Felix to take it as they're reaching out for it.
Well, he's gonna go quickly try to grab it because then
Yeah.
And start. Mm-hmm.
You grab it without issue, and as you do, anyone with an electronic communicator and the ship itself gets a message that it's an audio feed. And you hear, squawk, squawk. Yeah. Your data cache is the property of Armory Down. You can find it on the planet should you want it. Come find us. And then you hear a creaking and a snapping as the object that the cache was on starts to crumble, and you hear creaking and functional distress throughout the entire shell of metal that you're within.
Yeah, pretty much like, bait. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. I think I just turn and book it, right? Like, there's not much else that I can do in this situation.
He'll say it's bait, and it's like, let's get out of here, and then starts leaving as fast as he can.
I'm gonna offer you a GM intervention. That your suit catches on something sharp and potentially rips.
Who? Or so all of us, or
You specifically.
well,
You're wearing one of the gazelle suits, right? It doesn't quite fit you.
yeah. Well, I don't want to lose my XP, so I'm gonna have to accept it.
Yeah, so you gain an XP, and you can give an XP to someone else.
You do notice Kit has a bag full of tools.
Okay.
Kit, you're with us? No, you're on the ship, right?
No,
Yeah.
Kate
Kate is on the ship. Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll toss it to Kit. The extra XP.
Yeah.
Cool. So everyone, you see as you're all running to go, his suit catches on the edge of what would be where a chair was once, and is now just the bracket sticking out. As he's turned to go, he's caught one of some of the loose material on one of the limbs, and it's started a slow leak. Atmosphere
I do have an
venting.
explorer's pack / survival tool. Can I do it? Does it look like I could patch something quickly as I attempt to leave?
Well, it depends. You can definitely try if you'd like.
Well, first you'll exclaim. You first exclaim. Got caught on the thorn here, losing air. Gonna attempt to patch. Assistance would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, Kit, like, almost like a battlefield medic with his, like, bag, sets it, like...
In zero G.
Magnet against, like, any magnets inside the bag, like, against a wall or the floor, and, like, pulls out, like, all the tools, and, like, after a couple seconds, like, pulls out a roll of duct tape. Hey, I think I got it.
Yeah, it's one of the walls of the ancient derelict, after years of salvage and distress and heat distress and radiation, finally buckles and caves in, and the opposite wall of the derelict starts moving towards you at quite a rapid rate as this ship is imploding upon itself. Make a difficulty 4 speed roll to manage to patch this up and move out of the way before collision.
So,
can I do anything to provide an asset, either like pushing away debris or trying to hold something to give them a little bit more time?
Is there anything I
like
could
that?
do? I'm just wondering.
You can definitely help. Tell me how are you helping? Are you clearing the way?
What, me or Willow? Yeah,
Mia.
Yeah. So you said the walls kind of falling down. We're in 0G, so like, could I like push against it or kind of force it to go a different direction, just giving them a little bit more time, or potentially clearing the way so they've got a clear out. Like once they're finished, they've got a clear escape path.
You could take either action. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I don't know how you want to do this. If I give them an asset, or if you want me to roll something.
Which one are you going for?
I think I'd prefer to give them an asset.
Okay, sure. You can help them out. You can clear their path. You give them an easier way out the door. You like put handholds at the perfect points for them to grab onto, so they're not scrambling at all. Brings it down to difficulty 3. Did I say 4? I think I said 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
said 4.
Brings it down to a 3.
So I'm the one doing the duct taping job, correct?
Yes.
So I'm gonna spend 1 effort, but my edge it's free. Does the duct tape allow me to do the job, or is it an asset to do it better?
With your edge, applying effort costs you 2 points.
Okay, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it's applying effort. The first level costs 3, so it costs you 2.
oh yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Um, that's for
Oh, you're also trained in mechanical skills,
yeah.
and slash tinker either would apply, so you can bring it down to difficulty 2 for sure.
Okay.
You're good at this, like putting
Yeah.
duct tape on a broken spacesuit, easy.
Okay. I spend 2 for my pool. Try and get difficulty 2. Sorry, I was just trying to get my head around this, how to use the system. So it's 4 difficulty, spending 1 effort.
Sorry, the
And
And then you can
difficulty.
take 2 assets.
Yeah.
Or you can make it difficulty 2. Either of those will work.
Then having 2 assets.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Do you want to re-roll?
It is the so how do I reroll? Like
It would cost you an experience to reroll, or
I
you
think
can accept another intrusion and take an XP.
it was a 5% chance to roll a 1. I'll roll again. So no XP.
You did receive 1 extra XP from
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So down to 1. So reroll it. Sorry, this is lots of tables. Difficulty 4.
Yes.
1 effort. 2 assets.
Woohoo!
13.
Okay.
Brilliant. Yeah, you managed to patch him up, and in a very dramatic, appropriately TV show way, the camera shows that just as you escape out the doorway, that's when the walls meet each other and crash into each other. And from the outside, you can see that this entire ship is collapsing in on itself into its own gravity well and into the gravity well of its neighbors. This battlefield that is constantly in slight motion has been tizzied up into even more of one. You can see that some of the ships that were closer to the planet have been set into a decaying orbit and will soon crash down into the planet over a matter of hours. So you can see some are drifting away into the void of space. The main big capital ships, they're taking a bit. Take more than that to knock them out of their orbit. The one that you are coming out of has been distressed and collapsed in sections, and the area that you are in is fully imploding on itself. You managed to make your way out.
Okay, we're definitely grabbing the cylinder and bringing it with us. If
Like
possible.
disintegrated.
Oh, it did disintegrate? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the cylinder didn't. You have it.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, good.
then
The object that
reversal.
it was on. You have the cylinder.
Okay, Reamer, hold on to that. Reamer goes mentions like who leaves a distress call in the middle of a bait and then tries to kill the game. Terrible hunter.
Yeah, I think Seymour like nods. He's probably grimacing, but his helmet obscures that, so you just have like a bobbing head.
Oh. Yeah. By the way, he will say thank you for the quick back job.
You're welcome.
On an unfamiliar environment, guy caught barbs everywhere.
Back on the ship, Kate, you'll definitely have been able to see that on the scanners, several ships are emerging from the other side of the moon and heading towards you at some velocity.
Captain, get ready to move. As soon as everyone's on board.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine even though the derelicts are collapsing, right? Like the environment suits have mag boots, so we should be able to get on no problem.
You can make your way back to the White Tail without issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
We stumble into like the cargo hold. I slam a. I don't know if there's like a pressurization chamber or whatnot, but yeah, we would do that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Reaver
some kind of airlock.
Reaver will get out of the suit. Reamer will get out of the suit and sit. Hang it up as if it was still fixed inside where it was hanging before. Not mention the damage. Because he doesn't want to feel somehow explain this. And head to the bridge.
Yeah, you don't get to the bridge. As the other side of the airlock opens, you see
Attempts to get to
you see the captain stood there. Captain Rovati stood there, jittering, almost vibrating fast enough you feel like he could move through solid objects. The speed at which he is twitching and jerking. He's like, "What on earth is going on out there? The whole battlefield is collapsing. What are you doing? What have you done to my suit? I am very, very perturbed."
I think Mira will hold up her
Yeah.
hands and be like, "It's okay. Like, we don't really know what happened, but we've got a name of someone on the planet who has something for us. The suit was an accident. These things happen sometimes. We're just very glad we didn't lose any life. Yeah, like she's just trying to, kind of calm it down, but she's also being very blunt about what happened and not really hiding anything.
Make let's see, what level is this? Make intellect roll difficulty 4, and this is just to calm down the captain.
Got no skills with this, so we're just gonna do it.
It's slightly worse than 50-50.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I think he calms down as much as this species can calm down, especially when on prescription stimulants. I appreciate your frankness about the situation, but I am still very concerned. I would rather not stay in this part of the system for the foreseeable future. I would like to move on to our next destination.
Well,
Reamer's
Where
like,
is the next destination?
well, where was the remind us, where is the person mentioned a location, didn't he?
yeah, he's on the
message?
planet.
If
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
are you examining the cylinder that you picked up,
Well, I'm trying to remember what was said. Go over the.
it was said that your property belongs to. Let me check my notes. Sorry, one second.
Armory down, I believe.
Armory Down. Yeah, it said your property belongs to Armory Down, and that you could find them on the moon. Or
I think
they would have said
Reamer-
Houlihan's third moon. They would have said.
Reamer's like Houlihan's third moon. Our quarry's there. He says that to the
That is-
captain, expecting him to like act on it.
The captain or something go. We are in orbit of Houlihan's third moon right now. It is the place above the battlefield. Are you meaning to convene with the Pushunta?
Reamer's like,
Yeah.
Well, if they've got
Okay,
what
then.
we came for, then yes, we are.
If anything happens to my ship, you are paying for it. Head up to the bridge and set a course for the moon. And you see the distant blips of the ships that had emerged from the other side and would make it to your position in probably a number of hours. The moon is still a significant orbital body. You've caught the attention of some of these ships. Yeah, you make your way down to the planet.
Moon.
While you're in to the moon. Sorry, it's my own my own navigation point. Yeah, while you're making your way down, does anyone have anything to do in the meantime?
Does the whitetail have weapon systems?
The whitetail has no weapon systems that you're aware of.
Very rad. Okay.
At most, you
so
have
like,
a powerful survey scanner that, if you turn it up to maximum, could give someone a headache.
Cool.
that's at least
I think since Reamer's on the higher alert, he's going to be observing the crew.
so. I have a question. Ships, like, basically, we're moving down to land on the moon, and the ships are coming behind us. Or how are those ships like in relation to us?
So, if you were setting down to land in the US, those ships have emerged from China. They're from a different quadrant of the planet. They've popped up. Yeah, and headed in a beeline for the battlefield. Though not for your position directly, for the battlefield generically. Like, they're not set on course directly for you.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah. Like, it's very unclear if it's related to you getting the message beacon or not.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rimmer was saying that he's observing the crew like a second time. Did I get that right?
Yeah, he's just going to observe the crew since they seem panicked a little bit. He's just going to stare at the crew, make sure they're staying calm or not.
Well,
While they try to quickly leave. I mean, calm for whatever they calm for them.
Relatively calm for an Ikarosi. They're still making frequent trips to the eatery to shoot up, but other than that, they're fine.
Yeah, he's just wondering.
Yeah.
He's slightly fascinated by them, but not enough to, do anything else but his main mission for now.
You definitely observe one of them eating their lunch or their dinner or whatever the current shipboard time is. It's a big bowl of leafy greens, and it seems that they can't move their jaw up and down. They have to grind it side to side. They have to use wide, flat teeth to grind down their food.
He wonders if they go through food as quickly as the latrine, but otherwise.
I think Mir's gonna check in with Kate, and just say we haven't really necessarily been introduced, but I just want to check in and make sure you're doing okay.
I'm doing all right. Not the best on long journeys like this. I don't like being cooped up. It's for everyone's sake that I stay calm. So, I'll be excited once we get down to the planet and I can wander around a bit.
Should be interesting. And she'll probably leave it there. Like, she's somewhat social, she's not super social, and just wanted to make sure and check in and touch base.
So, what do you think this armory down thing is?
I think they're going to try and extort us for a lot of money.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Do you think? I think if Reamer overhears that, he mentioned there's a few methods of paying for extortion. One of them is a lot more violent than the other one.
Yeah, if someone's willing to hire Penumbra to do this, you can bet that thing's worth a lot of money, and you can bet we don't have it. So I'm thinking the violent way.
Our only issues if they harm the objective.
I mean, so we're getting an extra 1,000 how for the container being intact, but you've got it. And I gesture at the silver cylinder. So I think we're good to go on that front.
Reamer's like, the stipulation, it seems to have you found a loophole.
Hey, Yeah, Seymour shrugs.
So like Reamer's like, I like loopholes. he puts the container in like whatever storage area, with a note, "Don't touch or die," and he puts it down. He's like, okay. He puts it there. And he's like,
I think Mir approaches and is just like, so just want to double check there's not any like tracking device on that. I mean, I'm sure they know we're coming because, you know, the mess in the sky, but just want to make sure like there's no other information they're getting from it.
Oh, Reamer's like, he takes the note off, gives it to you, the container.
He's examined the container in any detail yet.
Yeah, Kit, right? You're the mechanical mind on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll hand the container out and say, "You want to take a look?"
Yeah. I am use my skill in machines and identifying, understanding machines.
Trained in all actions involving identifying or understanding machines, as well as using, repairing, or crafting machines. Mechanical skills. Very cool.
Would that be an intellect then?
Yeah, insights roll. No difficulty. Just see how much information you can glean.
I rolled a 5.
5. Oh, I mean, you can pick up the repeating audio signal that's coming off it, but you don't really get much else from it other than the chrome cylinder. The inside is clearly some kind of data storage format that you'd probably be familiar with, although it seems to be a far older version, though whether it is a better or worse version is probably down to opinion. It doesn't look like it would fit into a standard vehicle of the modern age. You'd need to come up with some kind of adapter. But that's only true of the outside technology. The inner core clearly doesn't match with the rest of it. It's of the more modern format and just contains the audio beacon and coordinates on the planet.
Yeah, and there's no microphone, no transmitter on it, just a speaker.
There
Basically.
is, I mean, it's emitting a signal, so anyone listening for that signal would be able to pick up on the signal. You're also able to ascertain, like, if you're looking into the data, that the originator of the message is an individual known as Iro Talon. IRO Talon.
Seeing as like we have no need for it to continue beeping, I try and turn it off because we don't need it. It's broadcasting our location.
Working out how to turn it off would be difficulty 1, but then you have machining, so you can just do it for free. You find the cord to pull on the power core on this inner core, and you have the outside cylinder intact.
Okay.
Managed to flick it off, power it down.
Is it an obviously beeping thing? Like I'm trying to figure out. Seymour is not like by any stretch of the imagination skilled in electronics or machinery or anything like that. So like does it have like flashing red lights or anything on it?
So it's like an outer cylinder and then an inner cylinder. Like if someone was to extract an ice core, the inner cylinder is like a Pringles tube. And it's, while the outside cylinder is chrome and smooth, the inner cylinder is all like equipment and blinking lights. Yeah, and I think both Kate and Seymour. Does anyone else have any affinity with the bleed?
Nope.
All right, so Kate and Seymour, every time this thing pulses and repeats its audio message, you can also feel like the background crackling of the extra dimensional energy that grants the ability to use the bleed crackles too. It's electromagnetic as well as whatever energy we call the bleed.
Does that still happen after it's been unplugged?
Oh, after it's been unplugged, the regular pulsing stops.
Anyway, I can tell what it was trying to do with that pulse.
Sure. You can give me an intellect check, difficulty 5.
Now,
Five.
I'm not
Okay.
sure with Kate, but I think you also have understanding magic, right?
I have magical training, knowledge of the bleed, and knowledge of biomancy.
Okay. Can I give Kate an asset because I have the skill understanding magic?
So Kate, with magical training and knowledge of the bleed, could reduce this by 2, and then
Okay.
your knowledge could give an equipment asset, which would reduce it by 3, making this difficulty 2 overall, all things considered.
So, intellect difficulty 2, or should I put? How does this work? I've not done a roll yet.
You can do either method. You can just put it in as difficulty 2, or you can put in all the different modifiers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Nice.
Success.
Good success.
You're able to identify. It's like identifying a flavor that you know or a smell that you're familiar with, but neither of those things, because it's a sense that none of us are familiar with. These characters are. You're able to feel the tinge of meta magic, and it's your suspicion, and it feels like some kind of protective field.
so probably something to keep a technomancer from fiddling with it.
Yeah, that's a reasonable assessment. Yeah.
Well, it's meta magic, so it's not destructive, whatever it was.
Yeah. Seymour goes over towards Kit, and I think he'll like try and like do a like big slap on the back, like congratulating them. And I'll be like, mighty fine work. You mind if we look at that thing a little bit more in depth? And I like point at the inner core that you have.
Sure, it's just a hunk of junk now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's slightly worried about the whole keeping the container intact part of that 1,000 HAL, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there, huh?
Well, this is modern reconfiguring it. You can just plug that bit back in, but I think that's what the folks down on the moon did.
Oh my goodness, I am so glad you said that because holy cow. You know, Space IKEA, I'm so bad at all those instructions and the putting things together, so I'm glad you're here, Kit.
You just
And yeah,
just follow the picture. Just steps one after the other.
see, you say that, but then they label some parts I and they label some parts 1. And I'm not quite sure which parts go where.
So sometimes parts are lowercase l, and then you lose the Allen wrench, and it's just a big old mess.
See, Kate knows where I'm coming from, and yeah, I take the inner cylinder, and I think
Reamer's like, then hexes is a lot more simpler.
yeah, Rimmer says that, and I give him like kind of a side eye, and I'm like, bunch of brainiacs. And yeah, so I take the inner core over to Kate, and like I think we look at it. But I don't have anything else I want to do before we get to the moon.
Reamer's will take the case, put the sign back on it, put it back in the locker storage, whatever. And he's like, well, if we're seems like we're doing this the slightly more dangerous way. Quote.
We want to try and talk to him first, or we just want to go in guns blazing?
I mean, if it'll ease your conscience, we can talk to him.
If I talk to them, it's essentially the same option. From my experience.
I think she grins at you. and just says, I just want to do this the smart way. And if we scout them out and just go in guts blazing and that works, that's great. If we
you'd at
talk
least
to them
Mhm.
and then ambush them, that's great. But like, we got to do it smart, guys.
It's like, well, if we talk to them and then ambush them, I particularly like ambushes, so my preference. But
Oh, we got
yeah.
one vote
Yeah.
for the talk ambush. Seymour, how you feeling?
Yeah, I like a duck hunt like any other fella. Sure, we can send somebody in as bait. I'm not good at close quarters combat, and I think I give a side eye to Kate, and I'm like, we happen to know somebody who would be.
Oh, I'm not, but well, not at the moment, but things could change.
Yeah, I mean, Rimmer, you're what? You're good at distance, I imagine.
Yeah, I
I'm-
like my.
I'm good
Sorry.
at. Oh yeah, he says. He's like good at either being distance or long and close range. I'm specialized in debilitating my targets, at least for a few moments.
Yeah, and Seymour nods at that and looks at Mira.
Yep. As he says that, he crackles the knuckle.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so she says like, I'm good with a light weapon, so I could smuggle a pistol in. I do like my nice big rifle too, but if I go with Kit as kind of the talkie group, and then you guys can snipe them out. Kate, how do you feel? Would you like to come with us for talking, or you want to kind of be in the ambush section?
I'll try talking. It usually ends better.
Okay. So 3 talkers, 2 ambushers.
Yep.
Maybe some scouting before we actually do this. Sound like a game plan?
Mighty fine plan to me.
Best
Good
to
as
get to
any.
know your environment. So agreed.
I think the camera pans out on this combat planning, and as the final shot before the mid-roll adds, we cut over to the navigation deck where one of the creature's eyes are narrowed, and one of the Icarosian's eyes are narrowed as the redness of the moon gets closer and closer, and he glances nervously over a panel that's showing a flurry of comm activity, which is manifesting as a sequence of squawks and chirps within the little cabin's audio. And he just looks nervously, and we cut away from his eyes to the mid-roll credits.
Feeling a little stressed? Want to relax? Come to Cardicook. We've got everything you need.
Right. We get the flash up as we return from the BBTV advertisements. We get free agents beacon space. We return to, and I think we get a close-in shot in the middle of this kind of passenger area, focused on the cylinder as it rolls slightly backwards and forwards on the table. As we zoom out, And we see that the rolling is from the rumbling of engines as the ship makes moonfall. You feel yourself clunk solidly to the surface as the landing gear lock on to the rock below. You can feel immediately a wave of heat hits you, even through the air conditioning and environment shielding of the ship as it drops from void transit mode to planetary landing. You can feel the warmth from the outside. You can see the light coming in through the windows. You can see, you should be able to see on the map what you can see. You can see big piles of metal and scrap and detritus from the battlefield ahead in various piles. You find yourself within one of the larger craters that you saw from orbit.
And we're here because we followed the coordinates, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
The captain set down where the coordinates led you.
So we might be walking into an ambush. Everyone ready? Are we going to need the environmental suits out there too?
No, the atmosphere is thin but breathable.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's
Reem
oppressively
was-
hot.
Reem was like, "Can we use the ship scanners to maybe find something?"
Have anyone try?
Captain Ropati. That's not my accent.
The heat got to.
Captain Ropati.
Captain Rapati pops up from a corridor and he's holding a very large. Is holding a very large ornamental fan and wafting it at an incredible speed towards herself. He goes, "Yes, we have landed. We are on the ship. Please be very fast with your work and get back so we can leave."
Yeah, no, we're gonna do that. But did you hear what Rimmer just said? Ship scanners.
I tried to listen to what he was saying, but you all talk so very, very slowly.
I'll just do it.
Rumor's about to say something, but when Kits just offers to it, he's like doesn't say anything.
Use my using machines skill.
Difficulty 2.
Bang. 18.
Nice.
You can detect that among the scraps of metal that are up at the top of this map, you should be able to see a hover bike and its occupant. You see them at the edge of sensor range, observing you. You see the hover bike using some combination of magnetic and fan assist, not using anti-gravity technology. And fan assist being particularly ineffective on this thin atmosphere. But the bike itself, you can tell from the scans, it's falling apart. It's from 3 different brands, and it's got some pieces that are not even meant for a bike. You see part of a food replicator is part of the gyroscope somehow. And the occupant appears to be a hooded figure, somewhat avian in nature. And you see them on the edge of sensor range. And you see the pinging from the scrap all around you. You can easily identify its signature to be similar in composition to the ships that were in the ship graveyard that you were just exploring.
Okay, I think Mir's going to take her heavy rifle off and she's going to hand it to Seymour and say, "Okay, if it's not going to impede you, can you take this? And like, if we actually get in a serious firefight, you can throw it to me."
Yeah, you head to Seymour, and his eyes get like super wide, and like he grunts a little bit, and he's like, "Yeah, no, definitely. I can do that. I've handled one of these before. I'm not compensating for nothing."
She like looks him right in the eye and she's like, "I'm trusting you with this. If something happens to this, I will take it out of your skin."
It's fine,
Yeah,
Seymour.
and
You know what they say about guys with big rifles, right?
big holsters.
Excalibur.
Reamer's like more expensive. He has like more expensive ammunition.
Nice. Yeah, I think Seymour like was earlier maybe joking a little bit, but was a little bit flustered. Obviously, he does like look you in the eye and he gives you like a single solemn nod. It's like, can do.
Awesome. Okay. And she'll kind of dust her hands off and say, talkers, are we ready to go see what this guy wants?
Ready as ever.
As I'll ever be. Just glad to be on solid ground.
Okay.
Remo, as your not Remo, Kit did the census, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
Before you leave, you definitely like if you're casting a glance, the crew member at the census next to you is definitely incredibly nervous and definitely had already noticed what you had noticed as well.
Wait, as a meta thing, I feel like all these guys look nervous. Nervous, or just normal nervous?
That's up to you. They always look nervous.
When I was there, could I have like surreptitiously taken the ignition key?
Not so much an ignition key as so much as a command code.
Oh.
I don't think that you can stop them from being able to activate their own vessel unless you did it through more forceful means than tapping a few buttons.
I'll not throw a spanner into the works right now.
Quite literally, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, then I guess Kat, Kate, and Amir, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Out onto the surface.
Yep. So for those of you unfamiliar, Cypher uses relative range, very much like Genesis or other systems like it.
Fantasy
To where, to where you don't measure in feet or meters, you measure in the relative distance to your target, which is immediate, short, long, and very long. And so when you get to within short range of this individual, which is anywhere from like 20 meters to 50 meters, something like that, to within comfortable speaking range with your voice is raised somewhat, they'll squawk, stop right there.
Oh no, he's a pirate parrot.
Mira will kind of put her hands up. Say, we're here to talk. Are you Iro Talent? Or do you know where he can be found?
I know Iro. Squawk. I am of Armory Down.
Good.
What is your business? We have claimed this salvage. It is not yours, it is ours.
Well, you left a tube up there on the spaceship that said that, we were to come see Armory Down because they had our stuff.
See a glimmer of recognition on its face as you mentioned the tube that was up in space.
I know you know what I'm talking about. And out of character, like anyone, feel free to jump in. I do not mean to monopolize conversation.
No, we just want to get our way simply and easily. We believe Iro has it. Just like to talk to him about it.
What effect are you hoping to have on this creature?
To lead us to Iro.
Give me a difficulty 2 intellect roll.
Okay.
His job is to take people to Iro, but it just has to be not suspicious enough.
Yeah, I don't think have anything other than just spending effort. So
Unless someone gives you an asset, which I'm in liability, so no.
Could I give an asset, like maybe I'm patched into comms and I'm looking through the scope on the rifle and I'm using like my danger sense to be like, he's tense, or like give advice from a distance?
What advice would you give
You know,
during this conversation?
good advice.
Such
Advice
as?
worth one asset.
Yeah, what advice do you give?
You know. Yeah, I've got nothing. I was just trying to rules lawyer it.
Normally, I'd be willing to give that, but I don't think there's anything you could particularly say to help Fremont. Yeah.
You've got it, buddy.
Look,
Hey, talk better.
Offer some rations.
They've got what they need.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we have seeds, maybe.
Look, are you going to take us to him or not? We got the stupid cylinder that said to come here and go to the guy and do the thing.
Did Mia's speech do anything, or just preamble?
Mia's, yeah, it's difficulty 2. Like, it's
Okay, so
6 or higher.
okay.
Woohoo!
Barely.
Evan. Yeah.
Like, everyone, I think, is suspicious of this ship that's come down, but is having weapons leveled at him, but is what? All right then, I guess. And he'll allow you to come closer. He'll swing one leg over his hover bike. He'll buzz up over to you. And you can see now this hover bike, it, like, even worse than on the scans, it's falling apart. Like, it's sputtering and struggling to maintain its lift in this atmosphere. Like, at times it is scraping across the ground. And at one moment, as he passes a scrap pile, his hand darts out and grabs something shiny off it and stuffs it into his robe as he goes past. It's like a little scrap of metal or something. And
I think-
makes his way over to you.
Mir nudges Kit and says, if you can fix some of their stuff up, maybe they'll actually just straight trade it to us.
Yeah. See if this Iro was amenable to that.
Yeah, he approaches you. He goes, "Oh yes, you found our message beacon." I need to get the voice for this. Polly wants a cracker. We have the Jittendra information. I assume that's what you're looking for.
Who? We're just told to retrieve something.
And can I have someone who is paying attention to their surroundings make a speed check for me?
I could do that because I haven't been. I think Reamer was scanning the area a bit.
Sure. Difficulty 4, please.
Will my binoculars help?
Are you using them?
Yeah, I think everyone's glad he'll be slightly behind and looking around.
Then yeah.
So speed, and I have 1 edge, so it'll be net 2 difficulty, right?
You're spending an effort.
Well, the first effort will be free because I have an edge, right? Or
No.
it'll be cheaper. Yeah, that's what.
It's cheaper.
You'd have to spend 2 points from your pool.
I'll probably do
to
that. I haven't used my
apply
pool
that.
at all.
Yeah.
I'll do that then. So difficulty 2, right?
Yep, correct.
Sure. Effort roll. Oh, effort. So I have to put difficulty 3 then effort to roll, or just.
Yeah, it's awkward, but just putting in the difficulty post-alt after you've told me all the modifiers is fine, or doing it through the process is also fine. I don't mind either way.
Okay, effort to roll is 1. Try. See if it goes well.
17.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so
Right.
you can definitely tell that this, as you can work out from context clues, this push junta is not alone. From looking around in your binoculars, you can see metal shifting in ways that it has no reason to. You can tell that you can hear the background chirping of other avian creatures. As you are within their territory. This isn't the only bush hunter around.
Mm-hmm.
And I know because some of you like to note it, I will write that for you.
When Reamer sits around, he just look around. I think he'll just text to the rest whoever else has a smart device in the groups, like as he's in its own. It's like as anticipated, or not. Yeah, he's only the face.
It's like the three of us then.
Oh, yeah.
It whispers. Here we come.
Do I get a number of people or just people?
You would estimate. You can estimate that it's not more than 20.
Okay, so I think I revised that. It is an entire net of them here.
Yeah, I mean, there's not more than 20. I mean,
So you're saying it's a fair fight?
depends on their level, but yeah.
Do you mind cutting back to the ship for a hot second?
Sure, doing a flashback. What would you like to have done?
Well, it's more like I would have liked to ask the three of them before they leave, because like we don't know necessarily that they're going to stay in that position. Like, is the idea that Kate and I are stealthing behind? Like, we are supposed to stay out of sight? Because of the ambush plan?
I think it was a general idea. Like, we would be led towards wherever their camp is, and then you guys would kind of find a way around.
Oh, wait. No. Was Kate with you guys and Rimmer was with me?
Yeah, I think that was the.
It was in the diplomacy team.
Okay.
Yeah, so I should.
Yeah,
my token should be further back.
Oh, duh. That's how the binoculars work, as opposed to standing right in front of the man.
Oh,
Got it.
Yeah, I think I moved my token thinking it was be further behind, but then he moved the bike forward, and I was like, "Oops!" I didn't
Just
move
got
my
this image of doing a check to see if someone's lying and pulling out your binoculars to, to zoom in on the micro expressions.
token.
Okay. Now that my mental gymnastics have been sorted out, yeah, I'm good.
So,
Do you guys
cool.
want to do a stealth roll to see if like you're being stealthy?
Oddly enough, one skill Reamer is not good at, or he doesn't have.
I don't have it either.
Yeah, I think this is just a raw speed roll. Does that sound right?
It would be difficulty 4.
Cool. Yep.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Probably gonna have to spend. Probably just gonna spend more out of the pool.
Yeah, I'm spending out of my luck pool, and
So 4.
Seymour, you can make it a difficulty 3 if you use your danger sense.
yes. Okay.
Let me see. Do I have anything to help? No.
It's not strictly applicable, but it's to do with initiative and yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anything here covers. I have a bunch of knowledge and then movement stuff.
It's called
Stealth.
danger sense. I gotta give you that one.
Oh no, I don't have danger.
Success.
So it's 4, and I'm spending 1 effort.
Sure. So that's
So-
3 points reduced by whatever edge you have.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I think
7.
how this is expressed is you are both hidden, but you pop up to use your binoculars, and you notice that when you see someone, they also clock you.
Wait.
So you
Oh, it's 9. The thing is confusing when it says failure. I was like,
Oh,
roll the 7,
yeah.
beats a 2, 6.
yeah, it's target number was 9. You rolled a 7. Yeah, it lists the highest difficulty that you would have been. It's
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I don't mind when people just plug in their old difficulty because it either
It's a little
way,
off. Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, so I think it's due to your previous observation that when you pop up, Seymour's still hidden. They've got no idea that Seymour's there. Yeah, they notice you stood at the back. And I think we cut back to the conversation. And he goes, "Squawk to see Talon. Oh, you gotta make it worth my while." And he holds out a clawed hand that is covered in small black feathers and sharp talons.
Right, you come down off the hill. I think you already agreed by moving closer.
Say that again, sorry?
You zoomed down the hill towards us. If you didn't want to see us, you could have just zoomed away.
Oh, I just might still. And holding out his hand and does the avian equivalent of a cough.
Oh, we'll just follow you back then.
And Mira's like, hey, let's not be too hasty. My friend here is very good at fixing things. Seems like your bike could use a little bit of a tune-up. Would that be a trade?
His beak chitters a little excitedly. Like, you could make me go faster?
Mira turns to Kit.
That's what I spent the past 10 years doing, making things go faster.
This is acceptable to Rubric. He gets off his bike and just kind of points at it and looks at you and like, go on then.
Well, after we see. No, just do it. Like,
He fix it and then he zooms away faster.
That's a risk we're going to have to take.
To make this bike any amount better, difficulty 3.
I was just thinking throwing the fans off because they're just adding weight and not doing much in this atmosphere. But
yeah, you as a mechanical technician, I will trust your judgment that removing the fans would actually improve performance for this bike. Yeah, absolutely.
But you lower the cool factor.
True.
He didn't ask for the cool factor. He wanted to go fast.
Quite literally, you're getting rid of some AC. Really.
It's a planet that's just full of metal. The magnets should be good.
Difficulty 3 to do this without this is made up of half a dozen different brands that are not working well together. It's if you can pull it off without damaging something else.
Yeah, Kit doesn't like the cut of his jib, so he's not adding any effort.
That's very fair.
And you rolled a 20.
I was going to add another asset, but I forgot to do that. So yeah, that's a difficulty 1.
I'll let you tell me. What does this bike look like when you're done with it?
I just make it no longer a bike. It's just the hoverboard from Back to the Future.
Just fully sleek.
Yeah, it's like nothing other than the pure mechanical parts necessary to make it work.
Yeah, and he stands there like a talent hand on his chin, and he asks you questions now and again. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And at the end he goes, "What have you done to my bike?"
I made it better. It actually works now.
He steps on it and he goes for a zoom around this scrap pile. And when he comes back, his eyes are wide and is gleaming. This is much better. Yes, I take you to Talon. Squawk! And we'll set off in the direction of Talon. And unless anyone else has anything else to do, we'll cut to when you arrive.
I do like the idea that Kit just single-handedly took a hoverbike gang and turned them into a hoverboard gang.
Have to worry about him getting kidnapped.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
So, kind of on a meta level, I guess I'm a little worried that we're going to split the party and you guys are going to be stuck with like 20 crow people in these piles of metal and not be able to sneak. Do you just want to come out and follow us? Like, what do you guys want to do?
Oh, sorry, Kit.
Yes.
In the process of repairing this bike, you gain a Cypher.
Ooh. I steal something from off of it that is more worthwhile than being a hoverboard.
Yes. You gain a cipher called the Push Jittendra Scavenger Scanner.
Now
You
say
can just
that
list
3
it.
times.
Yeah, you can just list it as Scavenger Scanner if that makes it
Uh-huh.
easier. It's level 1, and its effect is it provides an asset on any task involving locating an object, even if it would surpass the bonus limit. So you can go over the limit of 2 from assets using this.
Nice.
Yeah, and this is a part you've ripped off the bike that is used for finding shiny things for armor down. Armory down, sorry.
Yeah.
To your question, Willow, about whether or not we expose ourselves, I probably do look at Rimmer and I'm like, yeah, covert's not exactly my bag. How do you want to play this?
He's like, he's like, how far away were the crowd of 20?
You know that there are up to 20 in
Yeah,
the various scrap piles and in the distance and perhaps hidden closer. You don't know exactly how many and you don't know exactly where, just that you are seeing
Okay.
a lot of movement and you could identify where maybe 2 or 3 are. You could guesstimate at their numbers, but
Yeah, Rimmer was gonna like, we don't know where the net. It's like, the nest is probably hidden, so we might as well follow, or might as well join them.
Yeah. Seymour nods and gets up. I imagine he was like laying sort of prone in the ship. And he just comes over to the diplomatic crew and he's like, hold up, we're on our way.
I think Mir kind of holds up a hand. It's like, we need to wait for just a second. We've got 2 more joining us.
Rimmer comes up right behind you guys.
Kate, I'm going to
Yep.
offer you an inch-in.
Okay.
As
Oh,
this
no.
conversation is happening, and you feel in the bleed through your biomantic senses. You can feel the nervous systems of these people around you, and it's just an itch at the base of your skull, and you feel it growing and growing, and you could still focus and suppress it, or you could let it progress. You could succumb to your animal urge.
Let's give in. Let's see what happens.
Ooh.
So take an XP.
I will say I have placating xenobiology.
And you can grant an XP to another member of the team.
Anyone not get any XP yet this session?
I don't think I've gotten one, but I'm
Yeah.
still sitting at 1. So if anyone's sitting at 0, I think they should get it.
I think we all should not be at 0 because we all got 1 for accepting the mission. So I think
I'll give it
if
to
you
the
only
tech.
1, then I think giving it to you would be nice to
Yeah.
even out the XP.
There you go. Give it to Mir.
Okay.
Okay, so what happens?
Well, Kate, you tell me. What does your transforming into your beast form look like?
She feels it coming on, so she ditches the red leather coat that she's wearing, just so that she has something to wear when it's all said and done. Stops and like falls behind the group for a few seconds, just kind of staring off into into nothingness before you start hearing like the bones creaking and her doubling over in pain as the snout elongates and the fur starts growing.
Yeah, Rubric, sorry.
Reamer was like, he's like, is that normal for a species?
And I think Mira is like, are you okay? Like she's kind of turning around and reaching back and like reaching forward and like, what's going on?
Get a close up, or like she's looking down, so all you see is her hair, and then she looks up, and it's just wolf face and yellow eyes.
Rubric falls off the hoverboard with a crash and looks back like, "What on earth is that?"
Reamer, what's the animalistic expression? Angry and pain.
I think right now in pain. I think the transformation is very painful.
All right. I don't know. Reamer attempt to wait until the transformation's finished because it doesn't seem like it's done. But he's just like close to her with his hands out as if he's gonna like grab a cat or something.
Oh boy.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, can I go ahead and roll understanding magic and then use the fact that Kate and I had a conversation on the whitetail over here to give myself an asset?
Sure, with all of your bonuses, it's difficulty 1.
Nice.
Damn, you understand exactly what's going on. You know that for a subset of biomancers, they have this animalistic transformation that happens in areas where the bleed topography, so whatever the environment looks like in the other places where it's particularly strong or overwhelming, can lead to this urge to transform yourself into a bestial creature, and you can identify that this is something that afflicts Kate.
Can I argue that the major effect from me understanding this is I managed to convince Amory and the rest of the pirate gang to not start opening fire on Kate?
Convince who, sorry?
The pirate parrots?
Yes, yeah, the pirate pirates. There's an A name as...
Oh, the armory.
Oh, the armory,
down.
right, yes, sorry.
Armory down, yeah.
I think you can calmly explain what's going on to Rubric, and he'll fine, but you're keeping that thing outside.
Yeah, I think I bristle at that. I think Armory says that, and I'm like, she is just as much of the same goddamn destiny-bound person that she was before. And if she wants to stay outside, that's her prerogative. And I forget for a second that where we are, and I put my hands on my hips and I jut out my chin a little bit. And yeah, you can tell I'm genuinely offended by that comment.
Give me an intellect roll, difficulty 4.
Oh boy. So it's not the transformation that's the problem. It's me being a belligerent jerk. Okay.
Can I be moving so I'm standing beside him?
Yeah,
just in case he tries to run.
I mean, you can breathe underwater if that helps this situation.
Stop, please.
Oh,
Look at that.
nice.
15.
Yeah, I think that you reveal fundamentally that this bird is a coward, and well, not a coward, but scared of you in this instance, particularly combined with your new wolf friend.
Yeah, not scared of me. It's all Kate in this situation.
Yeah. Rubric, he cowers a little bit and just kind of nods his beaked head and continues on his way leading you, but you definitely hear from here and here you hear the metal rustle and you see hooded birds fleeing. The GM with a brief interruption here. For every session, we use the Monty Cook consent form to build a lines and veils document to maintain the safety of our players. You can find a link to this under the YouTube video or in our Twitch stream. during this segment, we approached a veil and paused the session, and everyone talked it out to make sure that all the players were okay, I was okay. So we returned to our session with Kate's beast form scaring away the remaining hostile creatures and leaving them with a compliant hostage. Yeah. I mean, you can definitely scavenge around for things that they might have left if you so wish. Before you head off with
Yeah,
Rubik.
Can't hurt to have a look around.
Yeah, I mean, did he have a bike?
You can't find any more bikes, but anybody who's looking can definitely find more of those scavenger scanners that Rubik was carrying.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so anybody who's looking can take a scavenger scanner Cypher, which provides an asset on any task that involves locating an object.
Thank
Thank you,
sort
Kat.
of like salvaging thing. You also look for one. That
So,
put me up.
Kit, you're looking for what? Sorry, Kit?
Oh, if I think Reamer also look around.
Rima. Yeah. You can definitely find one within the fled, the fled pushy yunta.
Scanner. What?
Behind.
Kit posted it, so you can just copy paste.
Oh,
Yeah.
I paragliding. I realized I watched it terribly.
wait, where you posted it? Oh, there. There's an auto scrolling.
Cool.
Okay.
So everyone follows the hoverboard, chugging along slowly. Mo, do you stay on the hoverboard with
Yes.
it?
He is not allowed to run away.
Cool. It goes along at a comfortable walking pace, and as you're walking along the surface, and you're starting to feel the heat of the oppressive atmosphere, and it's a little harder to breathe as you're traveling along. But it's not too long, maybe 400, 500 meters, until you see a scrap pile that, well, at first looks like just another scrap pile amongst this junk moon. You see that there's an entrance that has a sliding grated door, and it creaks open, and Rubric leads you down some stairs. And we go to a different scene, which I should put your tokens on. Nope, that's not your tokens.
You mean we're not giant chickens?
You're not all giant chickens, as surprising as that is.
I'm sorry, I'm still stunned.
You okay?
I'm shook to my core. Like that was a good moment. So sorry, I'll do it when we get to the end and the recap. Oh my goodness.
Cool. Yeah, you get down. You see what your characters can see. You can see this geometric room with an entrance that you've just come down. Two entrances on either side, blocked by piles of trash. Although this junk, unlike the surface junk, it's definitely shinier. It's like a higher quality of trash. Bearing in mind that one bird's trash is another bird's treasure. You see the Hushianta stud in the middle of this greatway. You can definitely hear further into the complex various sounds of a lived-in facility. There's the humming of air conditioning, which, as you walk down, the blast of cool air is definitely a relief from the hot sun outside.
Yeah, I think Mira is just gonna push her chicken captive kind of in front of her and just say, okay, so who's this guy?
Yeah, they start squawking and squabbling to each other in a language that you don't understand.
Hey, how many people know you have that cipher?
Oh, Kit?
Yeah.
No one.
No one. Okay, never mind.
Because of like I don't think at the moment the good time to use it.
From context clues, this is a language that is probably only spoken by this species, so it might not be the best
Right.
use.
True,
And
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that'd even work. Do you have to make a beak with your hands?
Voice modulation.
Yeah, maybe. Interesting. Yeah, so they are chirping to each other, and it's kind of lyrical if you listen to it. It's I wouldn't quite describe it as beautiful, but it's approaching something of maybe a avant-garde art. The way that they're squawking to each other, it's definitely a tonal language. Various clicks, pops, and whistles as they chitter to each other.
And I do like an insight check to kind of see the gist of what they're talking about.
You can try to read body language. Yeah.
Sure.
I would say it's
I have no
difficulty
skills.
5. Difficulty
Difficulty
5.
5. Sounds right.
Yeah, 25% chance of success.
Got it.
Whoa!
Rolled 14.
Oh, you have an edge.
Applied
Yes.
effort, yeah. You can pick up that rubric here is expressing extreme agitation and fear. And this guy is basically asking, why on earth did you even bring them here? Is his attitude. It's like, get them out now. You've led them to our base, you idiot.
And I think I'm going to lean down and say, like, remember, you promised
We'll just
to make
smile
this
and-
sound like a good idea to your boss.
We'll just smile and wave at the Kenku that brought us here.
Rieger just remove the safety. His stinger. Still
Think,
holds it.
This one will turn to you and go, I will order you with the common tongue. This idiot. And he whips out a wing and like gestures in a theatrical way. Almost in like a threatening display, as if when a bird makes itself larger, like a peacock fanning its feathers or whatever, all of his feathers stand on end, and one winged arm flings out from under his robe. This idiot has brought you here, but I can't change that now. What? This is the flight armory down of the Pushu Yunta. I'm sure you've heard of us. Looks
Yes.
expectantly.
Yeah, and Mir will, very bluntly say, yes, we got a signal. We're on a job to pick up a data capsule, and you guys got to it first, and you have our stuff, and we're here to get it back. And she'll kind of mimic the movement, and kind of point to her group and say, like, we're on a little bit of a time crunch, and we need to talk to Iro Talon.
It's not in right now, but you can speak to the rest of us. And unless anyone else does anything, it'll set off and lead you further in.
Anyone else got any other like social ideas on how to work this, or things that can help?
No. So we know they have it.
Yes, and he recognized it. The guy who led us here like recognized and knew what we were talking about.
Seymour hands Mir back her heavy rifle. And I think he's just as shook as I am. Like, I don't think he contributes anything. He mutely hands you back the rifle, and he stays as far away from Kate as possible.
Okay. I don't want to dominate. Like Willow does not want to completely dominate this, so guys, please feel free to hop in.
Yeah, I think
and
when it comes to this, it's like we're entering a social engagement. Rieger's not. It says stay silent because he's bad at it.
Mhm.
He's not enthused though.
So I think as we follow him, Near nudges the one who brought us and said, "You knew what we were talking about." So he should know what we're talking about. And you saw what happened previously. Don't really want that to happen again, do we?
Oh, yes, we had this stupid cylinder.
Right,
Give
well,
us a cylinder and we'll have your feathers.
hand it over. We'll happily be on our way. You'll never see us again.
They lead you into. Oh, is this tool working? Yes, it is. They lead you into this room beyond. You can see through this door. Not working. Work, please. You can see through. I'm hiding areas now. Reveal. Honestly, you can. You can see through that door a garage with another one of those hover bikes. You can hear off to the north side of that. You can hear like a mechanical clunking and whirring, and you can hear squawking, the same kind of popping and whistling language through that upper door. And then this door, and hey, you see this?
Hey.
You see another one of the bird creatures. Who, as these two walk in, they give a clucked greeting. He turns, and the one sat at this bank of computers is holding within his talons a Pringles tube-sized chrome cylinder. Spins on a swivel chair, turns to face you, and
You want this, don't you?
That does seem to be the thing we're looking for.
he drums his talons on it, and it makes a clanking, mechanical sound. Kit, I think as you notice this, you wince with each talon that taps on a sensitive part of this. And this Pushy Yonta in particular, on top of his robes are like what would be gaudy jewelry, necklaces, a big hoop earring, but instead of being precious metals, it's all scrap and links of paper clips and bits of padlocks. And you think there's a door handle on there from like an airlock configuration. Looks to be something like that. And you see that within this room, this computer set is none of it works with each other. It's got a monitor from a medical frigate, and then a communications array from an atmosphere hopper, and a big data bank that is way oversized and probably from one of the capital ships in orbit. And you can see on one of the screens it has like orbital trajectories for all of the elements in the graveyard that's in orbit, and you can see little dots that represent ships buzzing around it. Yeah, in his talons he's holding what looks to be the data cylinder you're looking for. And he fixes his gaze on the group and goes,
It's yours for 5,000 auras.
Mira leans on the doorway and just kind of smiles and said, I don't think you understand quite what the bargain is here. You see, we're on a little bit of time crunch, and we don't have 5,000 ores. And my friend here is getting rather hungry, and she'll lean back and look at the other crow and be like, and your people are quite tasty. So we can do this violently, or we can be on our way, and you don't need to worry about it. And then she'll kind of look towards Kit.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily know if she says anything, but she's kind of like, do you, in a sense, like her body language is, do you want to sweeten the pot? Like, are we just going with guns, or are you going to offer anything?
Does anyone in the group have a wrist computer or any other, like...
I have a smartphone.
Yeah, I have a communications device.
Kate has a wrist computer.
Wrist computer? Okay, Kate.
Yep.
you would be able to work out through an algorithm that whatever currency they just mentioned is worth about 500 howl.
Have that money? Does anyone have that money? Does anyone want to pay for it?
I've got
I have
250.
250.
So I
no-
have
we could
I-
we could scrounge things together, I think.
yeah. So I have 500 howl. I could just go ahead and do that, so that way we don't have to worry about the money. But very quickly, how do ciphers work in terms of value?
They are limitless, invaluable artifacts that no one would buy or sell.
Um,
that we just found on the
And
floor.
most often are not like an actual physical thing. It's a quirk of experience or of something you learned or a memory or just raw luck. A cipher isn't really a tangible thing to be bartered.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I can't barter my potion of water breathing, is what you're saying.
No. You could probably find a creative use for it. I'm not gonna leave you with a lame duck.
Because
So-
oh, sorry.
oh, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, if you recover everything properly, whatnot, we could spend 500 to gain 5,000.
That's true.
You mean that's like the objective here?
Wait,
is in a
we
sense?
could give you a bigger cut of the prize, and you could just recoup.
Well, I mean, like,
Okay.
Or we can
think
shoot him.
Reamer, if we're gonna go a spending route, and I don't think Reamer's against it because the math works out to getting a lot more back, or multiplying our money type deal. He wouldn't mind putting his 250 that he has to his name, knowing that he's gonna get more later.
Yeah. I think Kit's been around negotiations a lot. And it's like,
But for
oof.
now, Reamer does not know the currency exchange, so he's like looking at the angles to shoot these guys until someone mentions the currency exchange.
Well, it's more than I have on me, but wow, the currency here is kind of crap, isn't it?
I think then Reamer were like, "What is the exchange?"
And she'll just turn her wrist so you can see the screen.
I think Kit pipes up at this moment. It's like, oof, that's a steep bargain.
Uh,
And he's like trying to haggle the guy down, trying to make it seem like, well, we
Reamer's
have-
looking at that and it's like, "That's not bad at all." Face. But he's not gonna say anything.
So it seems like what we have is like Mir is kind of being like, let's do violence, and Kit's kind of like, no, let's talk. Like we're kind of doing a good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, I'll leave it up
Ooh.
to you. Which one is the more prominent strategy, and whoever's rolling can roll with an asset from the other?
I think. Oh yeah, so I'm trying to haggle him down just to make it seem like 500 is worth it to hand
Mhm.
over. Like that he's not. Yeah.
Trying to be more charming, or are you trying to be more intimidating as a group effort here?
I'm trying to be.
We vote.
Yeah.
I think we're trying to be more intimidating as a whole group.
I
Then
think
Okay.
I mean, Kate probably still has blood on her.
I mean, maybe.
Okay. So we got one for intimidating. Seymour, what are you saying?
I think the charm route that Kit is going for, like I think Seymour instantly picks up on it. I think he's like, oh yeah, duh. Like if we can get out of this with our lives and turn that like profit, yeah. So I think Seymour tries to back him up, but I have no idea how because Reamer brought up an excellent point. Kate is covered in the blood and feathers of her latest prey.
Okay, so yeah, so charm or intimidate. It looks like 2-2 for Drew. That I love the spherical movement circles. I don't care, but I think I'm the deciding factor.
Oh,
I think
it
so.
does intimidate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So
No, I can be intimidate. I don't
yeah,
care.
I think covered in blood. I think the only choice I have is intimidate. So
Okay.
Okay. Intimidate, charm.
That's it makes
That makes it a tie.
Rimmer.
Uh,
Intimidate.
Remember, it's intimidation.
Okay, so that's I'm going intimidation then. 3-2. Just fully intimidate.
okay, so Seymour and Kit are charm. Rimmer and Kate are intimidate. Kit, do you have an? It doesn't even matter.
We have the money.
We have the money.
We don't.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a d20,
Mhm.
and on an even, it's intimidate, and on odd, it's charm. So we're going with charm, Kit. I think you're rolling.
Okay.
It's gonna be yes, intellect. What's the difficulty to charm them?
4.
4.
I think we should spend a good chunk of pool.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend 5 points to get 2 effort. Oh no, I can only do effort 1. That's 3
Yeah.
points. And then do I get an asset from someone?
You get an asset from me for being the bad cop to your good cop.
Okay.
Nice. Right
Fine,
on,
that's
right on
fine.
target.
So what does this look like?
Bang on. I think he raises one skeptical eyebrow, drums his talons on it a bit more, and goes,
Well, fine. 4,500.
which is 450 hell.
I'll toss you a lucky spanner in as well.
Lucky spanner. What makes it so lucky?
If I could tell you, I would have hundreds of them. It just is.
Yo, quick sidebar, that was very smooth, Kit.
I think his hand moves from the cylinder that he's holding to his like the necklace that he's wearing, and like fiddles with it. Looks down at it. The light gleams in his eye. Have you like got the tool out?
Yeah, it's a super shiny wrench. One that I've never used because it's just it's useful in rare occasions, and it's new.
Yeah, his eyes go wide and he goes,
Fine. 4,000. Final offer.
Oh, well, yep, 4,000. Exchange with them.
I'll put 200. Allow me.
Okay, do you want 200 of mine then?
Okay.
Penumbra Network does its magic to transfer the digital howl into the local currency. And who's spending what, sir? It's 400
spent-
howl total.
Yep. I took 200 out of me. Now I'm up to 50 left.
Sure. And
And
where's the other 200 coming from?
200 from Kit as well.
200 from Kit. Okay, cool. Yeah, I hands you over the data. Well, he like holds out the data cylinder and holds out his other hand towards Kit, and doesn't let go of the cylinder until he has his talons on the tool already, and then swaps it really quickly. And then as soon as he's holding the spanner, cackles, rocking back and forth on his chair, and goes,
I would have given you it just for the spanner.
and then gives you the cylinder.
Yeah, Kit's gonna pretend to be like completely annoyed, dejected, like pirates.
Reamer thought to himself, like, why would he admit that when we're still in shooting range?
Let's just go.
Yeah, but he's not gonna bring up anything because like we have the goal, we're good.
You all have the option of adding another cipher.
I'm
Okay.
maxed out. I guess I could toss my scanner for another
So-
cipher.
You can toss a cipher in order to gain a new one, or you can reject gaining the new cipher.
Okay.
The cipher is Jittendra navigational data. I'll put it in the Roll20 chat.
Okay.
It is level 1d6, and the effect is for a number of hours equal to this cipher's level, all actions interacting with piloting or driving a vehicle are eased.
Okay, so here's a question. They asked us not to look at the data. So if we take this, are we looking at the data?
They asked you not to open the core, so that's kind of already a
Already
given.
happened.
It's already happened. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
but
Just
then
double checking.
Yeah. I mean, as long as nobody tells them you checked, or they can tell somehow, or you can be honest and explain to them. You know, it's up to you how you deal with that particular request. Yeah, this
Okay.
is something you can take.
So I have the option of exchanging this for the scanner or being better at piloting and driving vehicle.
Yep, for up
Ease
to
as in
1d6 hours. So ease just means
for a number of hours.
counts as one asset.
Yeah. And the scanner is only for one instance, right?
Yep, all ciphers are one use, unless it.
Oh yeah, but it's like one roll, or as a one asset only, not as it doesn't last for like an hour or something.
It doesn't last for a time, no. It just helps
Okay.
you on a roll to find an item.
Just think the data's better in general.
I think the data's better. Yeah, it's better. I have 0 skills in piloting anything, so this might save something.
And it's up to you individually how
Mhm.
much of this your characters actually know. You know that it's navigational data from interacting with the cylinder, and you can tell that this is of the local area, which is potentially valuable to anyone who would like information on exploring an unknown region of space.
With that explanation, he's definitely gonna Reamer will be more likely to grab it then. But yeah, Reamer's gonna probably be still like eyeing our copyright different just enough uncopyrightable Kenku as we leave.
Yep. Unless there's anything else that you would like to do in this facility before you leave, you can make your way back to the Whitetail without issue.
I think
I want to set off the bomb. I'm kidding.
I think Mir's taking the hoverboard.
Ooh.
I would definitely back this play.
To be honest, you could get away with that easily. Because, I mean, I know a way of... I think guaranteeing that.
I think it's difficulty 3 intellect without it causing further incident.
Okay.
Can I argue that the asset is Kate there?
Yeah, can I get an asset for Kate?
You can absolutely get an asset from Kate being a terrifying beast.
Yeah.
Oh, success.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you scoop the hoverboard and Rubric like squawks to say something, and his fellow shoves his wing over his mouth like, "Shut up, let him go." But my hoverboard. Yeah, but yeah.
I mean,
lets you leave
it's
with it.
It's not a hover bike anymore.
And you can add, I think it's a level 2 hoverboard to your inventory.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, when we get outside, I will offer it to Kit and say, "I'm sorry about your spanner."
Oh, it was nothing. It was just fun to see the look on his face.
Mm-hmm. Do you want the hoverboard? You did make it. and I have to say it's pretty awesome.
It'll be better in your hands.
Thank you.
Or feet, rather.
Mechanically, it allows you to move a long range in a single turn while you're riding it.
What I can do, just natively.
Which might means it's better than someone else.
Well, I mean,
Reamer has the same ability.
Yeah, take into account the difference would be that it hovers.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
true.
the
You're right.
advantage. But yeah, in terms of distance, yeah, it's not helping you out very much. But
Oh, we could decide with that. We got first calm down some antelope.
Yeah. So let's head out and calm down our survey crew.
Mm-hmm.
sure, they let you go with Rubric now being restrained by his fellow Pushy Yonta, holding your arms back, and yeah, you make your way to the Whitetail, and you make your way, unless anything happens, very eager to set off. You find yourself back in orbit of the moon, with the two separated halves of the data of the data cache, and the crew, amped and nervous as usual, running around.
Okay,
What
you
happened?
think you can
The
put
Pushy
these
Yunta.
two?
What happened?
Rieger has half a mind to terrify. But he holds his tongue and takes the data cache, puts it in the case that they have, and amends the note with touch this, die, or get turned to a hoverboard.
Nice.
He leaves that note very obviously. Whoever might obviously read it.
Mhm. I think Mer says it's good. We actually paid them and got it. So they like shiny things. You should add that to your notes.
Also, they would taste really good with some spices.
They are sentient beings. Okay. Sentient.
Reamer, you like it's a we eat many sentient things. Do you mean sapient?
Sapient, I meant, yes.
The Icarosian, who is fundamentally a prey creature, looks horrified.
It's like, Reamer sits there going like, no, I mean completely oblivious to it. He's like, them being sapient or not does not change delectability.
I love it.
Completely oblivious.
On a
And you're
meta
just kind of
level,
smiles,
sorry.
hopefully.
The camera cuts away from inside the Whitetail and the nervous captain fidgeting as presumably Kit slides the core back into the chrome container.
Yep.
And
okay, yeah, that's the one that Reamer was updating the note for.
yeah.
We do it together.
You do it together. It's very like Sixth Sense. You're doing the pottery. Oh, not going to space. The camera cuts back, and we see the sign of the slamming shortbread again. You come back in, and who's holding the cylinder as you hand it over to Agent Chandler, or do you hand it over to Agent Chandler?
I think Kit.
I think that's fair.
I gingerly set it on the table much more carefully than the push hunter, and just Shannon, it's one job done.
We get almost like an Ocean's 11 style end of a heist movie montage. You're handing over the container. He hands over the right to claim 5,000 howl from the system, which you can divide amongst yourselves as you wish.
Okay.
So I think everyone who didn't put 200 in should get less.
Yeah.
Yeah, just reimburse the people who did.
Okay. So I do some little bit of math to solidify that.
That would be 920 for everybody.
Yes.
Plus the 200 for the people that spent it.
Okay.
Which is
Got it.
almost an expensive item.
How is it expensive item anyway?
1,000. Yeah.
Okay. So I do have an expensive item worth, but
Okay.
that's to being reimbursed.
So, what report do you make to Chandler about what happened and how you found it? Like, how do you tell the story?
If we all make different little notations in the report, I think Reamer has a small cooking recipe put in there, and that's all he puts in as his contribution to the report.
Oh, cool. Kate, what do you add to the report, Agent Chandler?
Let's see. I think she very, just kind of glosses over the whole incident. Had one altercation with native species. No casualties on our side.
Hilarious.
And Seymour, what do you add to the report?
Yeah, I think I similarly don't note anything, but for the viewers at home, I am marking my inexpensive alcohol. I am consuming that because on the flight over, Seymour was just vigorously drinking.
Does he share any of it, is the question.
Yeah, I mean, he would share it with everyone, but it's like if Kate walked over, like he would just like sort of like very intimidatedly, like his hand is shaking on the bottle that much. Like he is thoroughly spooked right now.
I think probably somewhere on the ride, Reamer would have been asking Kate what type of wolf she is. I think that's the only thing.
Yeah. Guess I'll look up real wolf types.
At one point, I think Kit is going to buy some whale jerky from the vendors in Tootham and just slip it into Kate's bag.
Yeah.
Something
you can all take an XP as well.
Yay!
Yay!
Completing the
3
mission,
XP.
you all learn from some life lessons.
Yeah, I think
Reminder
Mir's... Go ahead.
to breathe some water.
I
Well,
chucked it
now
for
that-
the
Well, now you have 2. It doesn't really matter. To be
yeah.
honest, you might as well hold on to it because eventually it'll be useful.
Well, we'll see.
You just gotta take a mission on Cardicook and it'll be all good.
Or
Yeah.
or somehow leave the the water running in some kitchen. Like, oh no, you've unintentionally flooded a chamber. Whatever we shall do.
Dunk my head in a
Underwater
slightly
plane and
filled
aquarium.
sink. Oh, that's right.
True.
Remember, you keep an aquarium, right?
I keep a mini biome.
Oh, excuse me, a habitat.
Yeah, it's like a imagine someone like controls an ant farm, but this is like in a little biosphere, a mini biosphere. It's a common thing many people in Helositis like raise. It's like raising ants in an ant farm, but a little bit more complex. It's meant to be fun for the whole family.
Is there anything else that gets posted to the Penumbra message boards about this mission before we cut to the credits?
I
Nope.
think Mir's notes are they're easy to intimidate and they like shiny things.
Cool.
We've
cool.
done a Chandler would be thoroughly confused, but at least has a recipe to add to his to some of his bread.
Awesome.
It's not
we-
cannibalism. That's all. The only defense.
We cut to your credits. We get game master. We get the list of players and their character names. And as we get the requisite free agents after credit scene, we cut back to inside the Pushy Yunta base, and we see the one that was sat at the bank of computers. And he sits back in his chair and remarks, like semi to the camera, not quite breaking the fourth wall, to someone off screen. He goes,
Oh, those humanoids. They never know what they have. Value right under their own nose.
He lifts up his feet and puts them on a golden box with two seraphim bent, praying towards each other. And we end the scene.
Nice. Yay, we did it!
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Thanks for playing, everybody.
Yeah. Tons of fun.
Nice. Also, what are Seraphim again? I forget.
I think that was a Covenant of the Last Ark joke.
It
right?
was fully the
Oh,
Ark
okay.
of the Covenant, yeah.
Okay, my mind was just completely.
It
Well,
somehow went from that warehouse at the end of Indiana Jones to this moon in 03 or 06. Yeah.
What ended
Covenant of the Lost Ark.
Either-
My brain
either
is
way.
fried.
I posted one of the Humblewood bird folk that are the Corvum, which are crow-like
Yes.
things, and I love them.
Yeah, definitely.
They
Yes,
also do have they do have a literal chicken person. As I'm posting.
Yeah.
I loved the fact that you gave us clues that they were avian before we saw them. That was quite fun.
The fact that his name was Talon, I was like, oh man. And the other guy's last name was
Yeah.
Down, like Downy Feathers. Oh,
I just got that. Fuck.
Yeah, I just got that too.
They also mentioned being part of a flight. They described
Yeah.
their group as a flight.
Mm-hmm.
I only wish Reamer rolled well.
There was a lot
I
of
don't
nat
think
20s
I
in
don't-
that.
Yeah, but I think Reamer failed all his rolls.
If you take a look at the tags for Poulahan on the map, you might be able to distinguish some more details about what was going on there. And yeah, there's a bunch of paths y'all could have taken, and that was certainly one of them. It was really fun. Thank you for playing. Ended up as more of a talky session, but I definitely don't mind that. Yeah, I'm glad everyone had fun.
Yep, it was good. Thank you very much.
As always, I'm open to any feedback, things you enjoyed, things you didn't enjoy so much. Feel free to hit me up. I can take it. I'm a big boy. Yeah, you're all welcome back for another session. I think some of you are
Not
playing
enough
again
ranch dressing.
this month. I think some of you are playing again this week. Yeah, thanks for playing. I hope to see you all again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.